Mississippi 500 up by 56. Again, the high today, 91. It is 83 in Dallas, 87 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by the Good Contractors List. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 2:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 93.3. WBAP salutes Westlake. Westlake, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. I'm kind of excited for today's show. I actually did a lot of work this time around. I'm not just coming in and winging it. No, we're going to talk about Hunter Biden's trial here with my first guest, Laura Reese from the Heritage Foundation. First off, welcome back to the show. I didn't hang up on you there, did I? Are you with me, Laura?
I am here.
Okay, good.
Yep.
But coming up in the next segment, the research report will be my next presentation. So we're going to set the table here, and then we're going to dig into some of the real nitpicky details about, look, of all the presidential sons, this has been the most entertaining one. You got to give him that, Laura.
Oh, I believe I was here to talk about the border security executive order.
Oh, yeah, I have that. Heritage border expert exposes Biden's unserious executive order. Why are you using the term unserious?
Because it's not worth the paper that it's written on. They have built in so many exceptions within the executive order that I don't believe the cap will be used or that migrants will be turned back. And so just refresher, the executive order says if border agents encounter 2,500 illegal aliens per day on a 7-day average, then they can turn back illegal aliens between the ports of entry. However, excluded from those numbers are unaccompanied alien children, the inadmissible aliens that the Biden administration paroles in through the ports of entry, anyone who's been here longer than 14 days, anyone who's made it farther north than 100 miles from the border, anyone who claims a fear of persecution, which is what they're all doing anyway. So this is a fake effort by Joe Biden 5 months out from an election day because he wants to say that he did something.
Yeah, and in the latest surveys I've seen, this has jumped up to the number 2 concern among voters. But if he's really trying to win them over, why is he making such a lame effort to do it?
Well, I mean, his entire administration, they have lied about what they're doing and what they're not doing and gaslit Americans for claiming that the border was not secure or that there's an uptick in crime or that the cost of living is tied to this, et cetera, et cetera. So they basically took the most toxic aspect of the Senate Schumer-Lankford bill that failed twice in February and last month, and turned that into an executive order with the belief that Americans would say, oh, this was kind of like Title 42 for the public health reason to expel migrants. But it is far from it. And it's also another opportunity for Joe Biden to try and say, well, it's congressional Republicans' fault for not securing the border, yet the House did its job. It passed an excellent bill over a year ago, H.R. 2.
Does this mean we're done with that Schumer-Lankford bill?
Yes, I believe we are for this calendar year. Democrats will keep trying to bring up some version of it. Plus, they usually try to get some sort of amnesty in, particularly tied to must-pass appropriations and other funding bills. So that is an annual exercise of trying to prevent that from happening.
So is there anything to do that we can do to stop this? Do you think like the House of Representatives could pass something that would go through the Senate that would reverse some of this, or do we just have to wait for the next election?
Well, Congress has an opportunity to defund a lot of this nonsense. Unfortunately, they fully funded the Biden administration when they did the omnibus appropriations a few months ago, and then turned around and gave them even more money in the Ukraine and Israel supplemental for very vague language of vulnerable populations. It didn't say that refugees from those countries, it didn't name those countries, would receive billions of dollars in assistance. The language used was vulnerable populations. So Congress failed at stopping the money flow for all of this, unfortunately. But they have another opportunity to get it right and to exercise that power of the purse that they have this calendar year for next year's funding.
Is there any chance that since this isn't going to fix the issue, Biden may try some actual useful policies before the election?
No, he has shown that he is bought in with the radical left for an open border agenda. After 3.5 years of seeing historic numbers of illegal crossings, unaccompanied children, migrant deaths, American deaths to drugs, and on, and he hasn't changed yet, he's not going to. He'll just be more deceitful about it, like we saw yesterday.
Well, that's not going to help in the long term, except for the economy. This is the number one issue for voters. Laura Reese from the Heritage Foundation, thanks for being on the James Show.
Thank you.
All right, any comments on that? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit about the Hunter Biden gun trial, but what we're really going to talk about is all the Hunter Biden storylines that are going on behind the scenes that aren't making headlines. And I think you'll really get a kick out of that coming up next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Coming up on Thursday's WBAP Morning News at 8:21, are Biden and Trump slipping mentally? A lot of voters are saying, we'd like to know.
And at 8:45, it is the WBAP Pet of the Week live in studio, and we promise it will be incredibly cute.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Marion. Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones. Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton with your forecast. Steve Lamb has sports, and Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news. And Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Thursday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
Brought to you by the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Brandy from the Good Feet Store. Are you standing on painful feet all day? Don't lose hope. We want to help you live without pain. Discover your options and visit goodfeet.com.
You've got enough to deal with every day, so when you're shopping for a car, make it easy and shop online at freemantoyota.com. Hello, this is Dane Miner, General Manager of Freeman Toyota. At freemantoyota.com, we make internet shopping easy, informative, and best of all, hassle-free. freemantoyota.com will save you time and money. Everything you need to make an informed decision is right there. Shop online at freemantoyota.com and get a price up front. We'll even appraise your vehicle based on your description, and we'll give you the best financing options available. We can even deliver the car and the paperwork right to your home or office without you ever stepping foot in the dealership. Basically, no surprises, total transparency, and you're going to love it. In fact, even though it's on the internet, Freeman Toyota is making it a personal experience. If you have questions, you'll get real responses from real people who understand what real service is all about. So log on to freemantoyota.com today and discover a better way to buy a car.
Hey, North Texas, we all like new things now and then, a new car, new clothes, the latest TV, maybe a new recliner. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, Brad Barton for Clarity Windows. We upgraded our windows years ago, and they still look and operate as brand new. Clarity replaced some of the old wooden French doors that we had with new fiberglass exterior French doors at least 10 years ago, and they still look and operate like brand new. Clarity's 5-star design experts can show you the best ways to spiff up your home with new low-profile window frames, a whole rainbow of colors, and your home's going to be brighter, cleaner, quieter, and you're going to save a lot of money on heating and cooling costs month after month as long as you own your home. And to keep it in your budget, Clarity's taking 20% off every other window and door. Fall in love with your home all over again. Call Clarity at 1-888-458-3630 or click them online, ClarityWindows.com. Timeless beauty and year-round savings are yours when you trust Clarity Windows and Doors.
Bring clarity to your home. Clarity Windows and Doors.
Listen, I feel like things are off. You're just so extreme. I always thought of you as smart and reliable, but you're not. We've been so cold in the bedroom, and at the end of the day, you say one thing, but the feeling I get in our home is just completely different.
Honey, who are you talking to?
It's just our thermostat. I can never get it to match the temperature I set it at. I can't keep living this way.
I think it's time to call a professional, babe.
You set your thermostat at one temperature, but the actual temperature of your house takes forever to match it, or maybe never does? You don't have to live like that. This is a very common issue. It means your AC is never getting a break. Milestone's professional, licensed, background check technicians are equipped to easily diagnose and solve your AC problems. To solve your AC problems, go to callmilestone.com and mention WBAP for $200 off today.
We'll fix it in a flash.
We're still dealing with this hour-long delay heading out of Denton on northbound I-35. Construction has you down to just one lane at Clear Creek. Traffic stop and go all the way back from FM 1173. There's also still about a half-hour delay in Plano. 75 northbound has a crash at Legacy Drive, blocking 3 right lanes. They expect to be bumper-to-bumper from around Park Boulevard. And we also have a crash in Euless, eastbound 183 at Euless, Maine. It's been moved into just one right lane, but you still have about a 5 to 10 minute jam from FM 157 Industrial. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
If you've been hurt in a crash, do your research. You'll find plenty of lawyers out there. They'll probably do a fine job, but ask yourself, is fine really good enough for you and your family? Don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Good luck, Mavs, and the NBA Finals. We're rooting for you. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Hey there, welcome. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. One of the frustrating things about seeing Hunter Biden on trial is after all that we saw Trump go through with the E. Jean Carroll trial, where you couldn't even prove that they've ever been in a dressing room together, much less that the assault happened, much less that the defamation happened, much less that there was just one after another. And then the same thing that happened with the lawsuit where he supposedly falsified business documents to get loans that were in his favor, when there were a whole bunch of stretches that the law was used in ways that had never been used before, but they got him. They found him guilty. And then in this last one, similar story with the non-disclosure payments to Stormy. They took a federal charge, they made it local, they turned a misdemeanor into a felony so the statute of limitations wouldn't run out, and they made all these stretches and just Stretch Armstrong use of the law, and they got him. Well, for Hunter Biden, it's like, well, we better follow all our P's and Q's because this guy, we don't want to convict an innocent man. This dude is not innocent. This dude is running around. He's just a one-man crime spree, and you've seen the video evidence for years now. And okay, so he's brought up on the gun charge. This is this is an open and shut case. Should be an open and shut case. If that dude said that he wasn't addicted to drugs on a gun form, I think it's pretty easy to prove that this dude had drug problems probably the day before and the day after. And that's what they're finding. Like if you want to go try and parse through the actual evidence on this, you're surprised that he didn't take some sort of plea deal like they were trying to give him last year for those other charges. And there's evidence that he was texting the day before and the day after he filled out that gun sheet that he was doing drugs. And so the whole idea of this case, well, yeah, we've got to follow all the rules and give everyone their due process. We wouldn't want an innocent man to go to jail when they were just making all kinds of stretches before that. And it's amazing how this guy hasn't gone to jail before. Like, how much crack can you smoke on video and have the whole world see it without anyone bringing charges on you? That wouldn't happen if it was you. That wouldn't happen if it was your son. That wouldn't happen if it was your husband or whoever else that was close to you, your parents. I don't know. Who's the druggies in your life? Use them as the avatar for what's going on here. So what else? We got the prostitutes. We have the illegal guns. And really, most of the people I talk to, left, right, and undecided, don't care too much about the crack. They don't care too much about the prostitutes. They don't care even really about the gun charge. They care about the millions of dollars that were flowing. 10 million from China. We got another few million from Ukraine, a few million from some of the least savory characters on the geopolitical scene. And that's far more consequential because it's, look, you and I both know it, just because it hasn't been gavelled in a court of law. This guy has been the conduit for buying influence from his dad. If you wanted to buy influence from Joe Biden, you wouldn't give Joe Biden the money. They're not that stupid. You would pay off Hunter, or you would give him a job and shove him money there. And Joe Biden gets his cut, but it also gets you meetings, access. It's hard to put a dollar value on access, but the trade-off has been huge. I mean, you can already see the payoffs. If you're the Ukrainian Burisma oil and gas people, of course, you're connected in the highest rungs of Ukrainian government. Your connections to Joe Biden has netted you $200 billion worth of aid. So if you could just skim off, well, I don't know, 1% of that, you've got yourself $2 billion. Now, it was quite an investment there, quite a return on your investment, I should say, to pay Hunter Biden $80,000 a month or whatever he was getting from Burisma. I mean, so what, they overall paid this dude maybe $3 to $8 million through various channels, and they got $2 billion in return. That's what they got. That's what they paid for. That's what they got. How you like that? I mean, but it's really obvious, and he's not going to trial for that. The problem is, I know that, you know that, but if you open the window and throw a rock, whoever you hit probably doesn't know that. Why? Because it doesn't get reported on. There is an excellent piece in newsbusters.org. I tell you about these websites. I hope you actually go to some of these. But they have a rundown of 5 Hunter Biden scandals that are not being reported by ABC, CBS, NBC. And look, you can almost throw in CNN or MSNBC in that group. But after you have to do a 24-hour news cycle day after day after day, you'll at least throw it in there to cover it up or excuse it or dismiss it, or just give it like a 20-second coverage so you can't be accused of ducking it. But there's some recent information just in the last few months that has come to light that you don't know about, and you keep up with this stuff. I'll give you some examples real quick. On May 27th, just a little over a week ago, the New York Post reported that Hunter Biden used Joe Biden's appearance at a Sandy Hook shooting memorial event to coordinate a meeting between Joe Biden and a Chinese business partner of Hunter's. These are newly unveiled text. We have some new text and some new communications from this guy that have been made public in the last few months. They don't want to dig into that. When I say they, I mean the people who are tied to Team Blue. They don't want to dig into that. So this happened December 12th, 2017. It was a WeChat. They arranged the meeting between some guy, Liu Yedong. I don't pretend to know who that is, but he's a CEFC executive meeting with the father. Now, technically, that's not illegal. There's nothing really wrong there. But if there's nothing wrong there, then why'd this guy lie about it? Remember, he said over and over he never did these.
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. And what I will do is the same thing we did in our administration. There will be an absolute wall between personal and private and the government.
Do you stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business dealings?
Yes, I stand by that statement.
So now we're in a situation that reminds me of the rhetorical genius, really one of the Shakespeares of our time, Shaggy. He had a song called It Wasn't Me. And whatever the accusation was, whatever the evidence was brought against this cheating bastard, he stuck with the script. It wasn't me. She caught me banging on the counter. It wasn't me. She saw me banging on the sofa. It wasn't me. She saw me kissing on the sofa. It wasn't me. I'm sorry, that's the clean version. I even had her in the shower. It wasn't me. She even caught me on camera. It wasn't me. Saw the marks on my shoulder. It wasn't me. Heard the words that I told her. It wasn't me. Heard the screams getting louder. It wasn't me. She stayed until it was over. It wasn't me. Now, the total amount of coverage on the evening and morning show news programs on ABC, CBS, NBC How much coverage did it get? Oh, you guessed it. You already knew. 0 seconds. On May 22nd, New York Post reported the House Ways and Means Committee voted Wednesday to release 100 pages of new evidence showing Hunter Biden lied under oath to Congress during a deposition on February 28th. Oh, really? Yes. The IRS whistleblowers who started this whole probe into Hunter Biden's finances, their depositions don't match and the evidence doesn't match. And now that it's come out from this Ways and Means Committee investigation, you think this would be a big deal. ABC, CBS, NBC, their evening and morning show news coverage, 0 seconds. There's another one. On May 20th, the New York Post reported that Hunter claims he never introduced his dad to a Burisma executive. But then we have new info that, yes, they did. This is connected to that February 28th deposition and then some of the evidence that was turned over there. Some guy named Pozarski, I don't know. They met at Cafe Milano, April 16th, 2015. Emails show Hunter is the one who set up the dinner, which included some other foreign patrons. But really the important part is there was a Burisma executive who had been paying Hunter all these months, sitting next to Dad. ABC, CBS, NBC. Total coverage, 0 seconds. Now think about how many times they were talking about Stormy Daniels or adult stars or hush monies over these last couple of weeks. Not 1 second of coverage for that. We also have new evidence that Joe Biden met with some Qatari officials. And we also have the CIA blocked Hunter's sugar brother attorney friend from being interviewed by the feds. Now, this is all new information, but the total coverage, ABC, CBS, NBC morning and evening news shows, 0 seconds. So the Hunter Biden stuff, it doesn't look that bad. Like this trial doesn't even look that bad. Oh, man. So the guy got a gun and he did drugs. Whoop-de-doo. No. If you go behind the curtain, the stuff that they're not taking him to trial for, 1,000 times worse. That's the stuff you should be concerned about. And that's the stuff that as long as we're talking about this, they have cover. We're talking about Hunter. What do you want to do? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Shane again with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. We're your best option. We come to you, find the care you need, keep you informed, and we have the lowest pre-suit fees in the industry. Call me for a free consultation, 214-INJURED, mullenandmullen.com. No recovery, no expense or fees. Been that way since 83.
Men, if it's been a while, you're not alone. Don't be fooled by newcomer companies and promises of shockwave therapy. Men's Edge Medical will make you feel like a young man again the right way. Call 972-996-0900.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. Not with Orchard. Orchard helps you get top dollar for your home. And Orchard gives you an impressive guaranteed cash offer. With a solid cash offer in your back pocket, you can hold out for the price you deserve. Imagine knowing your home is guaranteed to sell. Get the most money for your home with Orchard. Get your free guaranteed cash offer at Orchard.com. Orchard.com.
Up to a 30% upfront bonus and 12% per year guaranteed growth for retirement. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and these are the highest guarantees with annuities I have seen in my life. When interest rates are this high, there are silver linings, and annuity guarantees are one of them. Up to a 30% bonus upfront for retirement income. On $100,000, that's up to $42,000 guaranteed in the first year. And it's because of the economy and its high interest rates. Don't let anyone, especially another financial advisor, tell you it's not true. Up to 30% upfront just for opening an account and up to 12% per year guaranteed income growth. Don't miss out. This won't last forever. If you have an old 401k, get up to 30% upfront and 12% guaranteed growth for income today. Call 469-579-3500. 469-579-3500.
Guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance.
Get peace of mind with Dallas Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Serving Dallas and Fort Worth for over 120 years, their experts handle all your plumbing, heating, and air conditioning needs. Visit DallasPlumbing.com and book your whole home plumbing inspection for only $89 to ensure your home's plumbing stays safe and efficient. Call 469-599-7200 or visit DallasPlumbing.com. That's DallasPlumbing.com. Licensed TACLB 50010E.
This is Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. I've competed in more than 25 triathlons, but what really gets my heart pumping is helping fellow Texans injured in accidents. I'll go the distance for you. Get your free case review at wilhitewins.com.
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
Russia's president with a warning to a European country. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
Some construction popped up in Irving. They have you down to just 2 lanes on southbound Loop 12 Walton Walker. Approaching Singleton, you're looking at about a 15 to 20 minute delay back from Union Bower. Still have that crash in Plano blocking 3 right lanes of 75 northbound at Legacy. That's causing about a 30 to 45 minute delay from Park Boulevard. And there's about an hour-long jam in Denton County northbound I-35 down to 1 lane at Clear Creek. Expect to be stop and go from FM 1173. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, sunny this afternoon with a high 91 degrees. It is 83 in Dallas, 87 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned Germany that the use of its weapons by Ukraine to strike targets in Russia would mark a, quote, dangerous step. Germany joined the United States recently in authorizing Ukraine to hit some targets on Russian soil with the long-range weapons they are supplying. Putin also said nothing will change in Russia-U.S. relations, regardless of whether Joe Biden or Donald Trump wins the American presidential election in November. Dallas police are asking the public's help finding a sexual assault suspect that attacked a woman last Sunday on Lawther Drive, just off Mockingbird near White Rock Lake.
White male, approximately 5 feet, 5 inches tall, skinny with a small belly, short, clean-cut red hair and a beard.
Officer Michael Dennis with Dallas Police says the attack happened about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. The suspect was wearing a blue crew neck shirt at the time of the crime. You're asked to call 911 if you have any information about the suspect. Your money news, eBay is dropping American Express cards in a dispute over fees.
The online marketplace giant said it's planning to ditch American Express due to what the company says are unacceptably high fees for processing credit card transactions. American Express said that it's disappointed with the decision and that the cost to accept Amex cards is comparable to what eBay pays for similar cards on other networks. And Amex card members typically spend double at eBay than what is spent on other networks. eBay says the change will take effect August 17th and that most customers are willing to use alternative payment options. This isn't the first time merchants have voiced opposition to Amex's business practices. Nearly a decade ago, Costco also stopped accepting American Express for customer purchases. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
The Dow's up 62 points, NASDAQ up 287, the S&P 500 up by 53. Again, the high today around 91. It is 83 in Dallas, 87 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
CeeDee Lamb is holding out at the Dallas Cowboys mandatory minicamp this week up at the Star in Frisco. Just wondering here, is Ezekiel Elliott going to join him? After the 49ers give Christian McCaffrey an extension where he'll average $19 million a season. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Lamb wants to get the kind of money Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and others are making to catch the football. And he's going to get an extension sooner or later. Now, as far as Elliott, who signed a one-year deal with the Cowboys for $1.2 million, does he go to Jerry Jones and request a do-over on his deal? No, he doesn't. The 28-year-old should just be happy he's got a job. He got his big payday back in 2019 when he held out of training camp, went off to Mexico before getting a $90 million deal. It's the drama, or circus, whatever you want to call it, that is the Dallas Cowboys in the offseason during the season. Dallas Mavericks are just a little over 24 hours away from playing Game 1 of the NBA Finals up in Boston. Playing the Celtics Thursday and Sunday before the series shifts to Big D next Wednesday and Friday. If you're betting on who you think will win, bet on the Mavs. They're going to ride Luka Doncic to the NBA championship. That's my opinion, and that's your Wednesday afternoon sports update.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
Thomas J. Henry Law has more than 2,700 five-star Google reviews from satisfied clients. If you've been injured and need an attorney, don't leave your case to chance. Contact Thomas J. Henry today at tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Get immersed in new worlds and ideas with Audible. Explore an incredible selection of audiobooks, podcasts, and originals, all in one easy app. There's more to imagine when you listen. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com.
More traffic reports more often.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. While, look, I did a lot of the background. Let me do some of the contemporary stuff you're hearing about this Hunter Biden story, because it really is a compelling story. Journalistically speaking, is this the most important thing going on today that's affecting you and your family the most? No, it's definitely not. But it does have, larger, wide-ranging implications for the security of the entire country and the planet as a whole. I mean, dumb stuff like this, when you look through the course of history, people just in orbits of power have caused big problems, even if they didn't have power themselves, like a Helen of Troy situation. I mean, this is how world wars could start. But look, I'm not saying that's what this Hunter Biden case is. However, the stories that are coming out of this are fantastic. Too bad the media is a bunch of political hacks that couldn't dare report things that hurt the narrative, because the stuff that's coming out of this stand, you thought the Stormy Daniels testimony was some exciting stuff. You need to meet Keston. Where's that come from? You need to meet Keston. Keston is an adult dancer, and she met Hunter back in December of 2017. Now, December 2017, that's 7 years ago. But that is during the time for which Trump was president, and it's not too far off the time from which Joe Biden had been vice president. Remember, there's just a little narrow 4-year window between Biden being vice president and president, and we're in that. So Hunter goes to an adult dance venue, and he meets this young lady, and after the club closes, he closes down a strip club. I had my party days, man. James in his 20s was not James in his 40s. And I used to close down some clubs, but I never closed down a strip club. So I don't know how long he was staying out, but when the club, rest of it closed, he put up a bunch of money for a couple of people to stay. And so they had the room to themselves, and he was playing music off of his phone because the DJ had left. I mean, we have details here. But she says he was smoking out of some type of pipe she had never seen before, but it smelled like crack cocaine, and so she assumed it was crack cocaine. And it was after she hung out that night with him, he invited her back to the hotel, and she declined that first time. But then later that week, surfing through the news, she discovered she was just hanging out with the son of Joe Biden, longtime senator, former vice president. Guys in the polls already for the next presidential race was probably being mentioned. And so the next time he called and said, hey, you want to hang out? She's like, sure. And so she went and stayed at his house with another chick. And after about a day, the other woman left, but she stayed for 5 days and was for a while his girlfriend. She said the second time that she went to go hang out with him, this is now in January of 2018, in the hotel room when she's hanging out, she said Hunter was smoking crack within the first 10 or 15 minutes. when he got started smoking crack, even if they were on a trip, the norm is he would smoke crack every 20 minutes. Wow. If he was out in public, if he was out at some event where he couldn't sneak off every 20 minutes and smoke crack, he would still try and smoke crack at least once an hour. This is on business trips. You know, when we talk about how he accompanied his father to some conference in Lisbon, Portugal, or he went on a trip to Singapore, or he was with his dad at some climate conference, or, you know, like the Sandy Hook memorial that we had mentioned in the previous segment, he's smoking crack every hour. So when we put this info together and think, hey, remember a few months ago when we found out someone had left a baggie in the White House and we never could figure out whose it was. And when someone mentioned, hey, maybe it's Hunter's, like, oh, he wouldn't be dumb enough to do drugs in the White House. Yes, he would. He's an addict. And I'm not beating up on him too bad. I'm related to some addicts. I know plenty of addicts. They're embarrassing. But we know what that looks like, and we know he just can't turn it off because his daddy became president. He's still an addict. He's still smoking crack. He's still using drugs. He's probably high right now. You understand that? I mean, you understand that. You just want to shake the people who are apologists for it and be like, listen, he's a junkie, okay? That doesn't make Joe Biden a bad guy, but come on, can we at least admit he's a junkie? We had the gun store employee who gave Hunter Biden the paperwork. He had to take the stand in Hunter Biden's trial. You hear a whole lot about that today? No. But StarQuest Shooters and Survival Supply is the name of this place, which I think is a great name for a gun store. StarQuest Shooters and Survival Supply. So we are getting details about who filled out the form. It better be Biden. And look, if for some of you who think that these details are too minute and not important, a lot of people are relating this to themselves. Just like I said, a lot of people have crackheads in their family or drug addicts in their family, or at least alcoholics in their family. They know what the addictive, compulsive behavior can look like. A lot of us have been in the situation where we're in a gun store, and I think of myself. It was a couple weeks ago. One of my friends in Bug Tussle has a new gun store that he opened. And so when we went there to buy the form, my dad wanted to buy a gun. My dad had left his reading glasses in his truck. And so it's time to fill out the form. He's like, hey, will you fill this out for me? I left my glasses in the car. Our friend who owns the store, who knows us, who has known us, can totally verify our identity, whatever. He said, no, you can't do that. No one else can fill out this form except for him, unless you have some sort of like legal disability. And then you have like a power of attorney guy that has to fill it out for you. So we are made, you are made, your family is made, your kids are made, your siblings are made to follow the letter of the law when it comes to purchasing a gun. So to see this guy skate, that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And look, it wasn't that big of a deal that my dad had to walk out to the truck and go and find his glasses and come back in and fill it out. I mean, he is in his 70s and he's had some health issues, and so it's a little bit more of a chore than it is for normal people to go out there. But people notice when you have to follow the law, when your kid gets put in jail for smoking crack, or when your kid gets put in jail for being in the hooker game, or your kid gets put in jail for some sort of gun charge, but this guy doesn't. See, that's why this is important. It's not that he's got a kid with a problem, and the kid, he loves his drugs. He loves alcohol too. Apparently he was drinking, mixing the entire time, alcohol and crack. But not only does he have all these faults, there's consequences. There are things on the other side of this. Like I love to use the example. If your husband comes home at 4 a.m. and he lies about where he was, the problem isn't the lie. The problem is, why is he lying? Why does he feel the need to cover it up? Because he's doing something you don't want to know. But Hunter Biden, in all this testimony and some of the new evidence that's coming out and some of the emails and texts that were released from the House and Ways Committee investigation just earlier this year, it's lock, stock, and barrel. This guy's a criminal. This guy has broken the law over and over. There is no question. There is no gray area. You and I and the voters out there are just wondering is there really a two-tier justice system? Is this guy going to be held to account? Because if Trump, there's not a two-tier justice system, everyone has to follow the law, we're about to find out if they really mean that. And not all American people are going to get it, but enough people are going to get the message if this comes out and Hunter Biden doesn't go to jail and Trump does. And this is going to affect the vote. Period. Point blank. End of story. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Brian Kilmeade from the Fox News Channel is coming to DFW for a special get-together at the Ranch Las Colinas at the corner of West 114 and North MacArthur. Limited admission. This coming Tuesday, June 11th, from 6 till 8 p.m. He'll talk about the issues facing our country and the upcoming election. For more, go now to KLIF.com or WBAP.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Lifestyles Unlimited wants you real estate retired. Learn the roadmap to wealth building. Impact your family for generations. Just like Lifestyle members Chad and Lisa.
They're learning the rope. They see this in their future too. It's benefited our children in the way they think of their future. It's taught them how to think in the millions.
Learn from the best. Lifestyles Unlimited, teaching you how to retire in 5 years or less while building generational wealth in this rapidly changing environment. Now's the time to take action. Text the letters BAP to 88007. That's BAP to 88007 for a 60% savings off the regular price. Our Financial Freedom Program membership for just $297. That's $443 off our regular price. With over 33 years of educating and mentoring experience, let Lifestyles Unlimited help you become real estate retired. Text BAP to 88007. That's BAP to 88007.
Fellas, do you take better care of your yard than your health? Well, as guys age, they may find their health lacking energy, motivation, and gaining weight, all symptoms of low T. At Synergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, the healthcare experts specialize in personalized testosterone treatment, and they make it easy to get checked. You'll get all your results on your first visit, and you can also be evaluated for treatment for prescription weight loss medication. Do it now. Don't wait. To book your appointment, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Spring is here. Everything is blooming. And yes, that is so pretty here in North Texas. But did you know that growing tree roots could be causing those nagging drain issues? Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today and get ahead of what could be a very expensive repair. My husband and I had our plumbing checked in our home, and we couldn't be happier with our experience. Joe, the licensed plumber that was sent out, was extremely knowledgeable and knew exactly what he was talking about. And the women who own Benjamin Franklin Plumbing, they are true experts in their field, and they know that opening your home to a contractor requires plenty of trust. Right now, save $120 with their spring drain cleaning special. Call today to schedule yours for only $79. Randy from Mansfield tells us Ben Franklin Plumbing serviceman Lance came out and worked on our shower and hot water heater. We found his work excellent, timely, and would highly recommend him and his company. And don't forget, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing is the punctual plumber, and they will pay you $5 for every minute they're late, because if there's any delay, it's you they pay. Call Benjamin Franklin Plumbing today at 866-4BEN-NOW. That's 866-4BEN-NOW.
Hey, James Parker here. Of all the things you do to maintain your home, cleaning the gutters is last on the list of things you want to do. Well, it's time to upgrade to a permanent solution with Leaf Filter. Clogged gutters aren't just a nuisance. They can cause extensive problems like flooding and roof damage and rotting siding and foundation issues, all kinds of stuff. So Leaf Filter is your permanent solution to clogged gutters. Their award-winning patent technology keeps out everything but water. And Leaf Filter takes care of everything from start to finish. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will clean out, realign, seal your gutters before installing Leaf Filter. Schedule your free inspection. Get up to 30% off your entire purchase at leaffilter.com/WBAP. That's a free inspection up to 30% off at leaffilter.com/WBAP. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
We have a new crash on your way into Arlington on northbound 287. It's right near Sublet, causing a jam back from Russell Curry. Looks like about a 15-minute delay. Still have that construction in Irving, southbound Loop 12 before Singleton. You're down to just 2 lanes. That's about a 20-minute delay from Union Bower. Crash was cleared in Plano, 75 northbound at Legacy. Still have about a 15-minute jam unwinding from Park Boulevard. And there's still about an hour delay heading out of Denton on northbound I-35. Construction has you down to just 1 lane at Clear Creek, and you're stop and go from FM 1173. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Junk for Joy.
Donate your car today at junkforjoy.org. Your car, running or not, can be picked up as soon as the next day. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
Donate your car today to Junk for Joy.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Do you have a problem with no-fault divorces? There's been a lot of criticism of them. A lot of it's coming from Republican circles. I don't get it, but maybe this family law attorney that we love having on the James Show does. Jennifer Hargraves is back on. And again, you do the best little short clips on Facebook, so thank you for your awesome social media stuff. You got a mini show going on there.
Yeah, thank you. We love helping empower people when it comes to marriage and divorce.
Right, and you keep them short. You keep them it's not like an hour-long thing. So why do people have a problem with no-fault divorces, Jennifer?
Well, I think the problem is people think that no-fault divorce is the reason for divorce, right? That if divorce is quote easy, which a no-fault divorce is not easy, but if it's easy, then that's why everybody's getting divorced, because divorce is easy. So let's make divorce more difficult. The truth is that no-fault divorce is actually better for families, and there are statistics that show that. But adding fault back in, requiring that people prove why they should be entitled to a divorce from their spouse, is really only good for divorce attorneys because it increases the fees dramatically. It'll increase the length of the divorce process. It'll create a lot more conflict and a lot more strain on families.
So the people that do want to get rid of it, why do they say they want to get rid of it?
Because the story is that, their spouse left them and because they didn't have to prove why they were leaving them, and that no-fault divorce makes divorce easy. I don't think no-fault divorce makes divorce easy. Divorce is difficult.
Yeah, but you don't want your spouse to stay with you because the paperwork's a pain in the butt.
That's exactly right. I mean, what I tell people is no-fault divorce is not the problem. It's bad marriages. Bad marriages are what lead to divorce. If you have a good marriage and your spouse, you both want to stay in the marriage, right? You're not going to end up in divorce court. But unfortunately, they're shifting the conversation. They're blaming the wrong thing. No-fault divorce is not the reason why we have divorces.
Well, didn't we used to have no-fault divorces were illegal?
It was, that would have been way before my time. I don't know that they were ever illegal, but I know that if you were going to be entitled to a divorce, you would have to prove your grounds. Cruelty, adultery, abandonment, and so forth. So it used to be that you had to have a reason for the divorce, and you had to prove that reason in court. And that's what, they got rid of in the 70s They said
That's
no
what I'm
longer do you have
talking
to
about,
prove it.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, can't the reason I want to get divorced is I want to get divorced? I mean, it's so subjective. How do you prove something subjective?
Well, because they made it not subjective. Like you had to actually have proof. Now with a no-fault divorce, you don't have to have proof. So now with no-fault divorce, if you just are done with the marriage, you get to just be done with the marriage. We don't have to prove why you should be entitled to a divorce.
I got to tell you, Jennifer, I don't get it. Do you want people to stay together just legally? They can live in separate houses in different states and pursue other romantic interests. We just legally have them on paper as a couple together. Like, I don't know what's their goal.
That's exactly right, because when you get rid of no-fault divorce, then you have people who are stuck in marriages that can't get out of marriages, and that leads to more conflict, which is terrible for children, right? I mean, this is not a family-forward agenda, although, when they are speaking about it, they make it sound like they're in favor of marriage. But getting rid of no-fault divorce does not make for better marriages.
Well, here's where I'm sympathetic. If it's a no-fault divorce, then you don't get to keep half of the other person's stuff. If you're the one that just wants to go because you're sick of looking at them, then how about we take away any of the financial incentives? However, if they screwed up and they're the ones who destroyed their oaths, their wedding oaths, then yeah, you do have the financial compensation. Is there anything like that?
Well, fault is still a factor. So even though we don't require fault to get a divorce in the state of Texas, there is still the option to prove fault. And if you can prove fault, then you can be entitled to a disproportionate division in divorce court, so you can get more of the estate if the other party was cheating on you.
All right. Well, I'm never going to need her, but for all of you people with your marriages falling apart and failing right in front of your face and crumbling under your feet, call Jennifer Hargrave, family law attorney. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
A ringing endorsement, isn't it? All right. Any comments on that 800-288-WBAP? Because I would really like for someone to explain to me, because I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like if there's enough people out there who want no-fault divorces to be a thing and I don't get it, then because usually even if I disagree with something, I understand why people support that. This one, not so sure. Coming up next, we're going to talk with a brain health coach and ask the question, are Biden and Trump slipping mentally? This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Company vehicle accidents are on the rise, and as a result, serious injury and deaths are on the rise as well. A company vehicle is any car, truck, van, SUV, bus, or fleet vehicle that is used for business purposes. If you or a loved one has been in an accident with a company vehicle, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious company vehicle accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends. Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio, Texas.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
Hi, I'm Tom. Welcome to my garage. I don't need new cars. In fact, I like old cars. Old cars remind me of me. I take Balance of Nature. I feel great. Take my word for it. If you want to feel great, take Balance of Nature. You'll never regret it.
Make a splash into summer with Balance of Nature supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first order, plus a free fiber and spice supplement while supplies last, with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this limited time offer by using discount code DALLAS.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbor said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Are you dreading the idea of dental implants? There's no need to worry. We have Dr. Steve Brown of the Dental Implant Place here in the Metroplex. Dr. Brown is a pioneer in the minimally invasive technique that gives you a beautiful smile, reduces healing time, is much less painful, and in most cases costs less than other dentists in our area. Dr. Brown has placed over 12,000 implants and has trained other dentists throughout the country in this revolutionary technique. Along with a compassionate, experienced staff, the whole team at the Dental Implant Place is ready and able to help you realize your dream smile.
I want to meet with you personally. Minimally invasive techniques, all-inclusive pricing, all in one place, and compassionate care. See the difference for yourself at thedentalimplantplace.com. That's thedentalimplantplace.com. Your new smile is here.
How much money do you need to successfully retire today? What's the magic number? It might not be what you think it is. Learn more on preserving your retirement Saturday mornings at 8 on News Talk 820 and now on FM at 93.3 WBAP.
This is Shane Mullen with Mullen & Mullen Injury Law Firm. I don't have a funny nickname or a silly TV spot. We do have over 40 years experience fighting for injured North Texans and low pre-suit fees. Being local matters and we win. Call me 214-INJURED, mullenandmullen.com.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media station.
Trending now.
The governor slams the president's executive action on asylum seekers. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
We have about a 15 to 20 minute delay heading into Arlington on northbound 287 because of a crash just before Kennedale Sublet. It has you stop and go back from Russell Curry. There's a construction in Irving on southbound Loop 12 a little bit before Singleton Boulevard that has you down to 2 lanes. That's about a half-hour jam back from Union Bower. And construction was cleared in Denton County from northbound I-35 at Clear Creek. Still have heavy traffic unwinding from FM 1173. Looks like about 30 to 45 minutes of delay remain. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones, I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, got them. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
Storm chances largely gone through the rest of the week. Mainly sunny sky the rest of the day, a high near 90. Patchy fog late tonight, otherwise clear, a low near 70. Sunshine and hot Thursday afternoon, high in the mid-90s. This weather report sponsored by Navage. Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you. For WBAP News, I'm meteorologist Mark Thibodeau at the Weather Channel.
88 degrees in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. Governor Greg Abbott is joining fellow Republicans in calling out President Joe Biden's timing in an executive order limiting asylum seekers at the southern border. Abbott told Fox News he blames the Biden administration for the overall border crisis.
This all was started by Joe Biden when he issued those executive orders on his first day as president, wiping out all of the programs that President Trump had put into place.
Even some Democrats have called out the president's actions, saying Biden took a page out of former President Donald Trump's playbook. Tomorrow, President Joe Biden and other U.S. officials will be commemorating the 80th anniversary of D-Day, the Allied invasion of Normandy, France during World War II. Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh detailing tomorrow's events.
Secretary Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, will join President Biden to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the D-Day operation, Operation Overlord, where thousands of U.S. and Allied service members bravely fought, many making the ultimate sacrifice, to defend future generations against the spread of tyranny and evil.
The 1944 operation led to the liberation of much of Europe from Germany. Your Money News: issues on inflation and the economy may decide the next president.
President Biden and former President Trump will go head-to-head on the debate stage June 27th, and many Americans will be focusing on food, gas, and utility costs. UNT business professor Michael Savoy says each candidate's oil and gas industry policies may become a big issue as gas prices have fluctuated.
It was under $2 under Trump. In many places, it's well over $3 today under Biden.
Savoy says the country was less dependent on foreign oil under Trump, while the U.S. has been forced to purchase more oil from OPEC during the Biden administration. Mike Trena, WBAP News.
The Dow closing up 96 points, NASDAQ up 331, the S&P 500 up by 63. Again, the high today around 91. It is 88 in Dallas, 90 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by On Time Experts Heating, Air, and Plumbing. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 3:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. WBAP salutes Bedford. Bedford, thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey there, welcome. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. The big question is about both of the candidates' mental competency. Now, a lot has been made of Joe Biden because, look, he's noticeably different, and if you deny that, then you're not a serious person. The question is, does that make him unfit to be president? And I believe most of his supporters don't think it does. Look, he was already acting kind of goofy in 2020, and he got a few million people to vote for him. So that's really who it's up to. It's not up to you. It's not up to me. It's up to the people who go to the ballot box. Because I've always submitted that even a guy who is in mental decline, who has the correct policy preferences, deserves your vote more so than the guy who has the policies that would take this country in the wrong direction, but he's sharp as a tack. You know, the declining, bumbling, decrepit old free market capitalist pig would be a better president than the young, hip, zippy, sharp socialist. So look, now that we have it in proper context, let's ask someone who knows a little bit more about it. Back on the show, Lee Richardson. She's a brain health coach from the Brain Performance Center, which I drove past it the other day. I didn't realize you were so close to the station. Welcome back, by the way. But hey, Lee.
Thank you for having me back. And we've got such a great conversation to have.
Yeah, so let's address both of these guys together first. Are Biden and Trump slipping mentally? As a brain health coach, what do you think?
I think they both have showed they've made mistakes. They both have showed lack of mental capacity and clarity. And I mean, if you go back with Biden, the time you can start a timeline. Let's just stay in 2024, but we'll start it in January. And there's consistently been evidence that he is struggling mentally, and part of that, you know, is with his speech, is with his demeanor, his gait. And then, but you know, Trump has showed some decline as well. They both messed the facts up. There's no denying that.
So one of the things that I don't know a whole lot about, but I feel like this is a big issue, is the change in how Joe Biden walks. He sort of walks like a toddler now. And not to pick on him, but we have seen this. We've all had great-grandparents or grandparents, or maybe our parents are in that phase, where we watch them go from, you know, just a happy little walk around to that sort of almost struggling fall forward and catch yourself with each step, you know, use all the handrails sort of toddler walk.
Well, and I call it the shuffle. And of course, I associate that, coming at it from the brain, I associate that a lot with Parkinson's. Now, the recent annual physical that Biden had said that he's fine and there's no need for a cognitive test. So I struggle with that.
Yeah, that's always suspicious too. No, he's so good, we don't even need to test it.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, if you look at, when I think of our president, I connect that to our military. And if you look at what goes on in our military, there are age restrictions for active duty. In the Army, it's 17 to 35. The Navy, it's 17 to 41. And there's a retirement age. There's a retirement age of 64 if you're a general or flag officer, and you can stay in up to 68 if approved by the president.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know all those rules. The other thing that now I'm thinking about it, it's swirling in the back of my head. You mentioned the change in walking patterns was representative or indicative, perhaps, of Parkinson's. Now, I'm not a brain health coach. I was thinking, as old people get so weak and they stop working out completely, their muscles just get so atrophied that it changes their gait. But you saw something different.
Well, I did. And it's, that you have a sensory motor strip, and that's a part of your brain, and that controls all the way that every part of your body communicates with your brain. And I don't think his walk is the most evident. There is no doubt about that. And I do look at it now. Am I saying I think he has Parkinson's? No. But that's when I see someone walk like that, because I've worked with that community. That's what it makes me think of.
At what point would you think the decline would disqualify them for the job? You sound like it's not a disqualifying factor at this point, which it's not. He is the way he is, and he's still doing the job. But what would be the cutoff point for you as a brain coach?
Well, see, I think we have to take it up a level. Did you know that 19 members of Congress are at least 80 years old?
Ooh.
Mitch McConnell is 81.
Right.
And the median age of the people in Congress is 65 years old. So to me, we look at Biden, we look at Trump, we look at their behavior, and we're judging their behavior. And many of us, we've got every year there's an election. It's amazing how stress goes up. And I'm worried about the economy. I'm worried about jobs. I'm worried about inflation. And I think most everybody is. But I think we've got to take it up a level and just say, at what point is it the right decision? You can't be an airline pilot past the age of 65 for aviation safety.
Well, you're giving me a lot to think about, but now my question turns to how would we diagnose? How would we know if someone is past the point of qualified, if they've declined too much? Do we take them out and play Trivial Pursuit at the bar, or what do we do?
I think we'll give them a cognitive test, and I think the physical comes into play, but I don't think that's a big part of being president. I think what's more important is your crisis decision-making capabilities and your strategy and your planning and your mental acuity and clarity. And there are different cognitive tests that can be administered. And I think if you're going to give one to Biden, give one to Trump.
Absolutely.
My concern is if you give them to everybody in the Congress and those two, where's that going to leave us? And I don't know. I don't say that with any judgment, but if we're going to open up that can of worms, then we need to have some systemic plan in place, and we don't.
We need to have them all play a Jeopardy tournament against each other, like the Congressional Tournament of Champions, and we'll see who's still with it and who's not. There's a dude in Congress right now who 13 years ago was concerned that Guam might tip over, and he's been reelected like 6 times since then. So I don't think people care too much about the cognitive functions of their representatives on some levels. But Lee Richardson, Brain Performance Center in Dallas, thanks for being back on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, what do you think? Have they declined so much? Has Biden and or Trump declined so much that they're not fit for the job? Or is this just an ad hominem attack in an election year and people need to pay more attention to the policies and not the person behind the podium? 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. And if they're not unfit, what would be the final sign that you would say, all right, that dude has gone so far away, he can't be president anymore? How bad would it have to be? 800-288-9227. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put 2 sentences together.
Keep connected, DFW.
News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hall of Fame linebacker Mike Singletary is always cool under pressure.
Not always. Last summer, our AC went out and our house was hot. And so was I.
Thankfully, Mike called Baker Brothers.
One of my cool friends recommended Baker Brothers at callbakernow.com. So I did. And they came out, diagnosed the problem, and told us what they needed to do to fix it. They were professionals and did exactly what they said they were going to do. It was great. My wife and I looked at each other and said, wow, now that's cool. Baker Brothers exceeded our expectations, and we haven't had a problem with our AC since. Thanks, Baker Brothers.
You got it, Mike. This is Jimmy Dell, president of Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric. If you need your AC repaired or replaced, go to callbakernow.com and schedule now. We have over 18,000 five-star reviews and offer 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Baker Brothers.
Great service.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Is your timeshare suffocating you? Are you feeling powerless because you were sold a bad investment that is nothing like you were promised? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you're ready to get rid of that timeshare, I'll send you our Timeshare Exit Information Kit free, exposing the timeshare industry scams with all your options for cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Ernie here for the folks at Statewide Remodeling. They're always wanting to help you make your home everything you want it to be. So let me tell you about triple sale days. Let's start with windows. Are they leaky or foggy? Or how about that old 1980s tub or shower you've been wanting to replace for years? If you have old, inefficient windows on your home or want to update your bath and shower, step one, call 214-214-6000. Schedule a free estimate and receive a $50 Walmart gift card with the estimate. Step two, get 50% off the installation of the bath and shower or a house full of windows. And remember, Statewide is the exclusive Kohler Luckstone service provider. Plus, Statewide windows qualify for up to a $1,200 tax credit. Step three, you have no payments or interest until 2026. Amazing savings, plus Statewide offers a lifetime workmanship warranty on your bath and window project, giving you peace of mind. So call today, 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000 or online at statewideremodeling.com.
Don't let the summer heat get the best of you and your home. Hal J. here for Mr. Electric, the electric company that does all things electric only. I am here with owner Robert Lubis.
During the hot summer months, our appliances can make the electrical system work overtime. Call us now for some summer specials happening right now.
That's Mr. Electric, offering $200 off any panel replacement and a free home safety check with any service. Visit Mr. Electric Dallas or MrElectricFortWorth.com or call 817-585-2997.
Here at Massey, we've seen the damage termites can cause. That's why we've protected homes from termite damage for almost 100 years. Our termite protection program doesn't just protect your home from termites, it gives you peace of mind. That's why our termite protection guarantee covers your home and all the things in it. When we protect against termites, we protect families. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
If you want to grow your business, you need advertising that moves. Moves to where your audience is watching and moves your customers to take action. Spectrum Reach has the solutions you need to connect with the right customers the right number of times across any screen, so you can be sure you're getting the most from your advertising dollar. Go to SpectrumReach.com to connect with a local advertising expert today. That's SpectrumReach.com, because advertising that moves is advertising that works.
Still have about a 15 to 20 minute delay heading into Arlington up northbound 287. There's a crash just before Kennedale Sublet that has you stop and go back from Russell Curry. Still dealing with about a half-hour construction slowdown in Irving. Southbound Loop 12 down to just 2 lanes a little bit before Singleton. Your stop and go there from Grawweiler. And they cleared the construction in Denton County northbound I-35 at Clear Creek. Still have about a 10 to 12 minute slowdown unwinding there. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live U.S.-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This report is brought to you by GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
GiveMeTheVin.com is paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Real life, real news.
News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Well, a new report comes out with some concerns about Biden's mental health, and then we have the ex-White House doctor, Ronnie Jackson, who says this is a national security issue. Now, I would like to add, I made the sort of the James Show rule about cognitive decline earlier, but I would like to add a corollary to that. When I said it doesn't really matter if your guy isn't mentally sharp as much as he follows the right policies. A capitalist pig who is in mental decline would still take this country in a better direction than a socialist who's sharp as a tack. One legitimate criticism to that is what Ronnie Jackson brought up today, and that it could be a national security issue. There's a lot of people who think if we're going to strike America, this is probably the best time. While you have a guy with cognitive decline, you know, we have our missiles going toward him. He has to make a flashpoint decision with a definite time limit on it, and you put him under pressure like that, we have a chance that they may make the wrong decision or not retaliate or pull it off in time or whatever. And then this could influence, even inspire some national security issues. Jessica in Plano, you're on the James Show. What do you think?
Talking about Biden's cognitive health.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
The lady that you were just talking to said that, you know, his last doctor checkup, that they didn't even give him a cognitive test because he was just that great, doing that well. But how come he's not being accountable for all those documents and paperwork that was found in his properties? Because he was a forgetful old man. That's what they said.
Yeah, and it's the fun part of this is the tightrope we all have to watch them walk. If you go search right now, Jessica, if you go search about he was held not mentally fit to stand trial, PolitiFact and Snopes and all these other organizations will say that's not true. That's not what the report said. The report didn't say that he was mentally unfit to stand trial. And they're right, but they're really parsing the words here. They said he was so mentally unfit and such a slobbering, forgetful goober that he would be sympathetic to a jury. And look, that's basically the same thing.
Shouldn't a jury get to decide if they would be sympathetic to him and not somebody else deciding that the jury would be sympathetic to him?
Oh, Jessica, absolutely. And we all see that. You don't even have to, we're all thinking that. We all know that. We all think that they're covering for him. And look, the people that are hearing the cover for him, they know it's a cover for him. They're okay, though, being dishonest because they think they're fighting Hitler. They think they're fighting, Donald Trump, Orange Man bad, whatever it is, whoever. Once you get people to hate Trump and you sharpen their hatred for this guy for a decade, it doesn't matter if the guy you're running against him is a drooling human Roomba that just bumps into walls and doesn't know what's going on. They think they're fighting Hitler.
This is so aggravating. So aggravating. And nobody knows what to do. I know there's millions of us that want to be able to do something, but we don't know what to do.
Well, no, I think you can be more simple than that. We all know what to do. Make sure he doesn't get reelected if that's your main concern. But we're in Texas. We don't really have a whole lot of a say in this. This state's going to go red no matter what we do. So, Jessica, you can rest easy. But there's not a whole lot you can do. If Jessica weren't in Plano and she were in, say, Fulton County, Georgia, I would say you need to volunteer as a poll worker and make sure they don't stop the voting and put up the plywood and block the windows and come up with magical votes. But really, I don't want to take the fun out of this. There's not a whole lot you can do.
That sucks.
Well,
I don't like that answer.
I know, but here's what that answer should at least give you. You don't have to worry about it. You're not doing anything wrong. Do not carry that burden around. This is not your problem. This is not something that you can do anything about. So worrying about it doesn't do anything either. So just give it to God. Let it go. Worry about the next thing. Worry about your kids. Worry about your job. Worry about things that you have some sort of control over, because this isn't one of them. I mean, I guess you could try and talk some of your neighbors into it, but really, I mean, this state's going to go red no matter what. So
Right.
Don't sweat it.
Everybody I know already knows Patriot.
I hear you. All right. Well, I need some more of your friends, because that's not what I'm surrounded with. Thank you, Jessica in Plano. But what she was saying, I think almost 80-90% of the people that listen to the show already agree with. They already know it, but you still sound surprised. She sounded surprised, like, well, why didn't he want to take the test, or shouldn't that count against him, or shouldn't? Yeah, we were all thinking that. In fact, we all know it. We all know it's a cover. We all know they just want to win. That's all. So the report, though, that has this being a topic of conversation today is on top of some polls. There's been a few recent polls that have shown Biden's age as a concern. And just like the polls that kept elevating the immigration issue, what's going on at the border, that caused Biden to address it. We saw the executive order just this week, not because he thinks, oh my goodness, we need to change policy at the border. It's because it's showing up so poorly in the polls. Well, in March, now what, 3 months ago, 61% of respondents who voted for Biden in 2020 agreed with the statement that Joe Biden is just too old to be an effective president. That didn't come from the James Show or WBAP or Fox News or farrightwingbigot.com. That came from New York Times. It was a New York Times poll. 61% of his voters said he's too old to be an effective president. That's why this is a topic of conversation. That's why he's going to have to do something to address it. And it was right after that poll came out that he was like, yeah, you want to debate? Make my day. Name it, time, and place. So look, this is what he's responding to. He's responding not based on policies, not what's best for the country or best for the common man or the blue-collar worker or the Scranton-type people. He's looking at the polls saying, oh, my goodness, you are getting drowned in the polls when it comes to immigration and your mental capacity. And those are the things that he's focused on right now, along with destroying Trump. So 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I really think the best criticism of this, though, is that the mental decline could inspire bad guys even more. Look at what Putin did. Putin didn't take any territory under Trump, but he did under Obama. He did under George W. Bush. He did under Biden. Is that the incentive some people are waiting on? Is a guy that's kind of shuffling around and not quite sure who's on the cue card in front of him? 800-288-9227. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Hi, Casey Bartholomew here. Selling and using equity in your home may be a solution to your financial challenges. Beware of inexperienced agents and predatory home buyers trying to capitalize on the real estate market at your expense. Out-of-state instant offer companies charge tens of thousands of dollars in fees, ravaging the hard-earned equity in your home. It's your money that they want to steal. That's why the only real estate expert I trust and recommend is Christopher Waters and Waters International Realty. Waters International Realty guarantees your home sold for full market value by an agreed upon date. Just ask Daryl and Lori. They missed several mortgage payments and were facing foreclosure. Chris sold the property for the full asking price in just 72 hours and stopped the impending foreclosure. The secret is the Waters database with thousands of hungry buyers and their powerful 194-point marketing plan used to maximize buyer exposure. Burdened by mortgage debt? Call Chris and his team at 214-689-6646 or go to ChristopherWaters.com. That's Christopher Waters with 2T's.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Did you know that at some AC companies, the service techs and the sales guys work as a team? Here's how it works. The sales guy literally parks around the corner and waits. After about 5 minutes in your attic, the service tech comes down and says, well, the bad news is you need a whole new system, but the good news is my sales guy just happens to be in the area. Next thing you know, you're pressured into buying a new system you probably didn't need, and they simply split the commission and move on to the next victim. At Reliant Air Conditioning, we provide comfort to homeowners who don't want to be taken advantage of. Right now, you can combine factory and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system. So call two other companies first, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO, or schedule your free estimate online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cavey, radiation oncologist at Texas Radiotherapy in Fort Worth. Caring for others has been ingrained in me since I was little. I remember my grandmother not feeling well, and I told her, when I grow up, I'm going to become a doctor so I can help you. Every patient I see, I think of the promise I made to her. With the help of my expert team, I ensure every patient is treated with compassion and provided with advanced care to fight cancer. Visit us at texasradiotherapy.com, where we'll put you first.
When you've got an unused car taking up money and mind space, not to mention your driveway, you know where to turn. It's Casey here. Sing it along with me. Donate your car today to Junk for Joy. More than a catchy jingle, it's a quick and convenient way to finally take care of that car. Junk for Joy will take any car in any condition with a pickup scheduled at a time that works for you. You'll get a voucher for a 3-day, 2-night hotel stay and a tax deduction. And your car will do good for kids. Go to junkforjoy.org now or call the number 1-877-JUNK-FOR-JOY. Donate your car today to Junk for Joy.
Attention hailstorm victims. Has your residential or commercial property been damaged by hail, such as roofing, siding, and window damage? Insurance is meant to help you when you need it the most. The adjuster, however, may argue the property suffered pre-existing hail damage, poor construction, or lack of maintenance that led to the damage, or insist the required repairs are only minor. You paid your premiums. Now you are faced with tactics to delay, deny, or underpay your claim when you are owed thousands more. Everybody deserves a fair insurance settlement. Let the lawyers at Fitz Law Firm help you with your denied hail damage claim. Insurance companies have experts working for them. You should too. Texas law requires payment for all hail damage and entitles you to all hail-related damage plus penalties and interest. Contact the insurance dispute lawyers today for a free consultation. You will not be charged any fees unless you win. Don't delay. Your time to make a claim could be limited. Call 817-500-9904. That's 817-500-9904. Or visit hailclaimcenter.com. Principal Office, Houston, Texas.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
A severe storm disaster declaration expands in North Texas. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
A crash on northbound 287 before Kennedale Sublets, still causing about a 15 to 20 minute delay on your way into Arlington. Expect to see the back end of the stop and go jam around Russell Curry. We have a new crash in Grand Prairie, southbound 360 at the West Fork Trinity River. It has you stop and go all the way back from 183. Looks like about a 10-minute jam there. And in Irving, there's about a 45-minute delay because of construction on southbound Loop 12 before Singleton. You're down to 2 lanes there. Expect to see this jam all the way back around 114. With WBAP, first traffic and weather on the ones. I'm Colin Ellis.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, sunny this afternoon, a high 91 degrees. It is 89 in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by Waters International Realty. Dallas and Kaufman counties are the latest to be added to Governor Greg Abbott's statewide disaster declaration related to recent damaging storms. According to the governor, the Biden administration approved the declaration allowing for federal recovery money. Eligible residents are asked to apply for the FEMA Individual Assistance Program. Collin and Denton counties have already been approved for the federal assistance. The public is being asked to help Dallas police find a sexual assault suspect who attacked a woman last Sunday as she ran on a trail near Lothar Drive at Mockingbird Lane. Officer Michael Dennis says a suspect is described as 5 foot 5 inches tall with a closely clipped red hair and beard.
At the White Rock Lake Trail near the 4800 block of West Lofter Drive on May 30th at about 12 o'clock.
Call 911 if you have information about a suspect or the crime in general. Your money news: former President Donald Trump seems to be leading on key issues, including the economy, ahead of November's election.
Poll after poll shows former President Trump with a double-digit lead on the economy. Voters see sticky inflation, a GDP that slowed in the first quarter of this year, and prices 19% higher than the month President Biden came into office. Now, market expert James Iorio felt a real turn in the consumer.
Well, here's what's really interesting is that starting Friday, we got the crummy GDP number with 1.3. We got the bad ISM numbers on Monday. But most importantly to me, that GDP FedNow model has gone from predicting 4.2% GDP to 1.8 in the span of 3 weeks. I think things are changing relatively quickly.
At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
The Dow closed up 96 points, NASDAQ up 331, the S&P 500 up by 63. Again, the high today around 91. It is 89 in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected DFW to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
For those of you old enough to remember Mighty Mouse and that theme song, Here I Come to Save the Day, maybe Texas Rangers pitcher Max Scherzer can be Mighty Mouse on this year's team with 4 months of baseball left to play in the regular season. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Scherzer, who had surgery back in December to repair a herniated disc in his lower back, threw 40 pitches yesterday to hitters, and he hopes he can begin a rehab assignment soon. While Scherzer sounds like he's trending in the right direction, the news isn't as good for outfielder Evan Carter, who will be out at least a month before he can play again. He's got a stress reaction in his back. Manager Bruce Bochy said, "It's a little worse than we thought." We're counting down to Game 1 of the NBA Finals tomorrow night from Boston, where the Celtics host the Dallas Mavericks. It's the return to Beantown for Kyrie Irving, who used to play for the Celtics. This is fascinating, and how he responds could determine the outcome of this series. I think Irving and Luka Doncic will feed off the Boston crowd's negative energy and use it to their advantage. That's my opinion anyway, on this Wednesday afternoon sports update.
Brought to you by Whole Foods Market.
Save at Whole Foods Market. Prime members can buy 1 container of cut melon chunks and get one 50% off through June 11th. Dig into ready-to-eat fruit to accompany you on summer adventures. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This report is sponsored by TruckWreck.com.
I'm attorney Mark Frankel with the law firm of Frankel & Frankel. When you're injured in a wreck, talking to the insurance company can be one of the worst things you do. Call Frankel first to walk you through the next steps.
FRENKEL. Call Frankel first.
Good luck, Mavs, and the NBA Finals. We're rooting for you. News Talk 820 WBAP.
And now on 93.3 FM.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. All right, old people with gray hair starting to come out. We're going to have an old man yells at the clouds kind of segment here. And I know everything changes and the only thing constant is change and nothing lasts forever. But Wheel of Fortune is changing. Pat Sajak is doing his last show, and it's going to be next week. So how old are you? Were you there when Pat Sajak first took over? I believe it was 1981. So Wheel of Fortune, I mean, not that big of a deal, just kind of an American institution. It's just one of the few things left that when I say Wheel of Fortune, everyone in America knows what I'm talking about. They've all seen it. They've all played it. They all know the rules. And even for the younger kids, they've at least seen the passed around videos of people giving goofy answers. And there was just a recent one last week where some guy said a naughty answer that was clearly wrong, and everyone got a good laugh out at ha, 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 ha. Oh, you know, I do have that. I can just play it real quick.
Our first toss-up is worth $1,000. Category is phrase, and off we go. Tavares, right in the butt. What? No.
This
Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah.
Yes. This is the best, sir. This is the best. Not right in the butt. And the best part of that is the lady on the far right. She goes, "What?" Like right as he says the answer. Yeah.
Tavares, right in the butt.
All right, we're not going to listen to that again. So, Wheel of Fortune, an American institution. Pat Sajak, an American icon. I don't know how much you've kept up with Pat Sajak, but in his, I don't know, about the last 15 years or so, I've started to notice that every once in a while he writes columns that end up on like Town Hall or RedState.com or some of these other political places. I've even seen it on RealClearPolitics.com. You know how they're an aggregate. And Pat Sajak probably agrees with you on most things political. You would be surprised that, you know, he doesn't fit the stereotype of everyone in Hollywood being, if not a full-blown lefty activist, at least Team Blue sympathetic, but not Pat Sajak. There was a real touching job that Good Morning America did talking about Pat Sajak. Or was it Good Morning? It might have been the Today Show. I don't know. It was one of the morning shows. But they let his daughter interview him to talk about his upcoming retirement. And man, it's so sweet. His daughter, by the way, looks like she's, I don't know, 25 and absolutely gorgeous. But this was from the interview 2 days ago.
Thanks for giving me this exclusive farewell interview.
My daughter is going to interview me, so don't be too hard on me.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Well, here we are. It's the last week of shows for you on Wheel. How do you feel?
It's surprisingly okay. You know, this was announced a long time ago, almost a year ago, so I've had time to sort of get used to it, and it's been a little bit wistful and all that, but I'm enjoying it and taking it all in and reflecting on a great run. I do know that somewhere along the line, we became more than a popular show. We became part of the popular culture, and more importantly, we became part of people's lives, and that's been awfully gratifying.
So I'm behind the puzzle board, and look who I found.
Maggie posting behind-the-scenes videos like these, showing the man behind the magic.
A lot of people were asking what behind the puzzle board is like,
Yeah,
so I
we
want to
can't
give them
show
a
a
glimpse.
lot.
Pat now reflecting on why he's ready to leave the hit show behind.
What made you decide that this is the right time for you to leave the show?
I've always said to you, you've heard me say this dozens of times, I'd rather leave a couple of years too early than a couple of years too late. Could I still do it? Yeah, I think I could for a while. There's also some other things in life that we'd like to do, and I'm enjoying this last year. It's been a great 40 years, and I'm looking forward to whatever's ahead.
And while he says he's open to new projects, he's looking forward to the simple life.
I'm perfectly happy if it just means that I'll continue with my crossword puzzles and play with grandchildren. Hint, hint, hint. No pressure.
This show means the world to us. It's been such a gift. And you have made what could have just been Hangman into a cultural phenomenon. So thank you.
Thank you,
For
sweetheart.
these amazing 40-plus years.
Excuse me, we have to hug.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm going to miss him. So Pat Sajak has presided over the game since 1981. So first off, anyone who's been employed for 43 years straight, consider yourself lucky. I know that part of you is like, well, I just felt like I never made any progress, or I thought I would make it further in life, and I've just been stuck in this dead-end job. No, 43 years having a job, gainfully employed. Be lucky. I have the kind of job where we get fired about, what, Eric, every 5 years or so? We get canned and got to go find a new job. So you people who don't have to know what that's like, you're lucky. You know how scary it is to like go home to a wife and 4 kids and be like, I don't know where the money's coming from next month. How was your day? But here's another thing I think about. Ask yourself this. You think Pat Sajak still likes Wheel of Fortune? Or do you think he's sick to death of Wheel of Fortune? Because if I was forced to watch every episode of Wheel of Fortune, after about 2 years, I would be out. So part of me thinks Pat Sajak may have just been loathing this position since 1983, maybe. For the last 41 years, he's been wanting to quit. But the money's just so good. And what's he going to do afterwards? Was he going to go be the assistant manager at Cinnabon, like Better Call Saul? And plus, I bet you he hears those noises in his sleep. Now, you would recognize them instantly, but like when your head hits the pillow and you're having a hard time going to sleep because you're worried about what your kids are up to or what's going on at your job, Pat Sajak probably just hears stuff like this, just like that's what he hears. He can't count sheep. He can hear the ceiling fan spinning. He can hear his wife flipping over, and he can hear the countdown clock, or he can hear like a ding, or he can hear like those chimes like, hey, you better hurry up, or bonus round, or whatever, just something. Right, RSTLNE. He knows all that, and if you get something wrong, that's probably what he hears in his head. Pat Sajak, you will be missed. They did announce who's going to take his place, but I forgot, so I can't tell you. 800-288-9227. This is The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP. Now on FM at 93.3. Joining me, Bob Lavelle, Home Marketing Services. Are you a big fan of Wheel of Fortune? Did you watch it much back in the day, or?
I did, actually, but, listening to your spot about the 40 years, he deserves to retire. He deserves a break.
Oh, absolutely. I've kind of feel sorry for the guy. You know how boring that job would be after, like I said, 2, maybe 5 years tops is all I could stand of that.
I'll tell you, the guy I miss that I wished would have went on forever is Johnny Carson,
Yeah, I have never heard anyone complain or lodge a viable complaint about Johnny Carson. All right, let's get to business. Do we have any more great success stories from James Show listeners, Bob?
We do, but let's see. We've got, I think this lady we talked about before, she's closing actually next Friday, and she bought a house, just over $500,000 actually, and it's the usual. Her hubby's a vet, so they're getting in for their $7.50. But you buy what you want, which she did, but she had been through a few different realtor situations that didn't turn out well. But, it's another happy listener of your show, and we've added up these folks that have had the courage to call. And, the one thing they always say is they actually really love your show. So are you ready to retire in 5 years when in this market they kick you out? Because I've been doing this for 30 years, and it's not my first rodeo. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of ready to retire. And if I do decide to retire at the end of this year, those people that are going to say, oh, I would have, could have, should have, but I didn't, because not being braggadocious, but I get deals done where sometimes it's going to be hard for other people, even if we have other people running this show.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to pick up all the slack in the DFW real estate arena without Bob Lavelle. If you want him to put his magic to work for you, 972-392-9595, 972-392-9595. Go to blessyourheart.com or 972-392-9595. Thanks, Bob.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.
Coming up on Thursday's WBAP Morning News at 8:21, are Biden and Trump slipping mentally? A lot of voters are saying, we'd like to know.
And at 8:45, it is the WBAP Pet of the Week live in studio, and we promise it will be incredibly cute.
I'm Ernie Brown.
I'm Carla Mary, and Monty Cook has your traffic on the ones, Chief Meteorologist Brad Barton with your forecast, Steve Lamb has sports, and Nicole Osei has your news updates at the top and bottom of each hour, along with your money news, and Hal J keeps us laughing.
It's all on Thursday's WBAP Morning News, 5 till 9 on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
The fight for justice never ends. In Texas, there's only one name you need to know. Thomas J. Henry Law. We're one of the biggest personal injury firms in Texas with the money to fight for you. We invest in expert witnesses, investigators, and cutting-edge technology because the best evidence wins cases. And you only pay if we win. No upfront fees, no hidden costs. We give back to the communities we serve, from school supplies for tens of thousands of kids to food for families and pets. Thomas J. Henry. Visit us online at tjhlaw.com. San Antonio.
This year, resolve to take care of all of those pesky home repair projects you've been putting off in an easy, stress-free way. The Good Contractors list has fully vetted contractors for all of your home projects, from gutters to garage floor coatings, painters to pest control. The Good Contractors list has the pro for you. And even better than that, they back all their contractors with a $10,000 guarantee. So you're not left with an unfinished project if something goes awry. Promising such a hefty guarantee means the Good Contractors List has to carefully select only the best contractors with a proven track record of solid work and great business ethics. Stop worrying that your project could go sideways and find your stress-free home contractors for every project at thegoodcontractorslist.com. That's thegoodcontractorslist.com.
We still have a slowdown heading into Arlington on northbound 287. The crash at Kennedale Sublet was cleared, but there's still some slow traffic moving from Turner Warnell. We still have that crash in Grand Prairie, southbound 360 at the West Fork of the Trinity River. It's been moved over to the left shoulder, but you still have about a 5 to 10 minute delay as you approach. Back into Arlington, we just had a crash pop up 20 eastbound before 287. Traffic already stacking up back into Fort Worth. Looks like we're pushing close to 45 minutes, maybe an hour of extra commute time there. Dallas, there's a new crash 20 eastbound at Polk. It's in the 2 middle lanes right now. You're stop and go there from Highway 67. That's another 45-minute delay. With WBAP First Traffic, I'm Colin Ellis.
Brought to you by Men's Edge Medical. Don't be fooled by gimmicks and promises of shockwave therapy treatment. Men's Edge Medical offers real solutions. If you suffer from ED and premature stamina, call Men's Edge Medical, 972-996-0900. You'll wish you called sooner.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Taylor Swift? Who told you to play this, Garrett? Just came up. I think Garrett's a fan. Welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Not that there's anything wrong with that, if that's who you are. Yeah, so I was just telling you about the passing of an American institution. And look, they say Wheel of Fortune's not going away, and it'll probably persist in some form, just without Pat Sajak. Pat Sajak /show is happening next week. But I think this is a good little way to encapsulate what everyone sort of goes through, what you've gone through. Your parents have already gone through this, that's for sure. And whenever you want to see like how to sort of win at life, for whatever nebulous concept that is, you have to look at the entirety of someone's life, and that's how you know if they did it right or wrong. You don't know if your playbook is effective. You don't know if you have a good coach and a good quarterback until you see the final score. Well, Pat Sajak's one of those where the final score is pretty damn good. The record of success that he had is rarely matched. I mean, it's like him and Alex Trebek and just a handful of people who've done that. And it, don't leave it in the game show arena. Look, there's not a whole lot of accountants who have had the same job for 43 years. There's not a whole lot of teachers who have stayed at the same school for 43 years. I don't think there's anybody at WBAP who's been here 43 years. Hal Jay's been here, I think, 38, and he's the record, and that's a complete anomaly. That's what makes him so legendary. Whether or not his ratings are amazing or not, if you're a radio person, you see Hal Jay, and you're like, teach me your ways, Jedi Master. I am tired of getting blown out every time someone wants to flip a format or syndicate a shift or whatever. Because I've been fighting, biting, scratching, clawing like hell through my radio career, and I haven't made it half that. And there's no way at this point. I'm not going to be a person who had a job for 43 years. That means I just started this job like in January. That means I'm going to retire when I'm like 100. I think I would be like almost in my 90s by then. I would be in my 80s. That ain't happening. So what Pat Sajak accomplished, what Hal Jay has accomplished, is something that I can't do even if I get started right this second. You understand that? You understand like their level of success is something that I just period, point blank, end of story, couldn't achieve. But it's also real cool when you have people who do have these careers. Like you could just pick apart their career and it can almost be your calendar. And the example I'm using here for Wheel of Fortune, real easy to explain. Real easy to explain how just your entire life tracks with this guy's day job. Because I'm going to play for you what the Wheel of Fortune theme sounded like the day he started. you might not even know what it sounds like today. It doesn't sound like it did when we were kids. We all remember dun 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 dun, because that was the majority. That was sort of the melody that dominated in the 80s and 90s when you and I watched the most Wheel of Fortune. It's evolved since then, but before then, when Pat Sajak first showed up on the scene, it was the same theme they had been using since the show started in 1975, and you can tell. You don't know exactly what year it is, but people have, there's a lot of mustaches and probably still a few bell bottoms disappearing over the horizon. There's probably some sideburns. This is it. This is what the Wheel of Fortune theme sounded like for Pat Sajak's first day. Does this sound like 1975 just threw up in your TV? Yeah. I got that tambourine in there. Bunch of analog instruments, no drum machine. And after Pat Sajak was there for just about a year and a half or so, in the 1983 season is when they changed that whole melody to something that they ended up copying, and even though it was different songs, it was still sort of the same recognizable melody. And this is when the classic one started in 1983 after Pat Sajak got there. See, now this is the version you know. But see, there's not a drum machine. There's like, what is that, a cowbell back there? And there's all analog instruments. Beautiful grand piano. They got rid of the tambourine, so it's a little less soulful. But then it's sort of, it goes into this direction where they try and keep that melody, but then just update it. And it starts to get weird. So 1989 is probably the last normal sounding Wheel of Fortune theme you remember. This is the one that dominated for the first half of the 90s. Came out in 1989. See, now you remember. This is what you had to watch when you went to your grandma's house after school and she wanted to watch Wheel of Fortune, so you're watching Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, there's the drum machine. You hear the drum machine come in 1989, right? And after that, it starts to get kind of weird. But that's the one. Doesn't that take you back? Isn't that amazing how you can just track time, how you can track the calendar? Like when future civilizations are going to come back and go through and try and figure out, what time or what's the date on this. They could probably track a lot of it with the Wheel of Fortune themes, like carbon dating or the style of Latin that is used in the prose. But then it gets weird because I don't know, when they make these themes, they only play for like 15 seconds and there's like a whole 3-minute song here. So check out how weird the next one gets. This is the one they plugged in at the end of the 90s that didn't really stick around that long. It was kind of a weird one. They're trying so hard. Like, you can tell the people that are playing these instruments are so good at their instruments. This one's jacking around. But this isn't like the hinterlands way past the regular melody that's going to be played on TV. They just have to goof around for like 2 more minutes and they kill it. Listen to them. And what would you even call this style of music? Is this white guy jazz? Like if you're going to go see a jazz concert, and when you get there, everyone in the band's white, you're like, oh, I was expecting jazz, but I'm gonna get this, and this is what you're gonna get. It's like, yeah, Wheel of Fortune, the soundtrack of part of your life, changed forever. This is the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Can you spot the difference?
Don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
And then,
don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
I'm sure you could spot the difference, but it's not always that easy to spot the difference when choosing a roofing company. Firehouse has been serving DFW for over 26 years and is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. If you have a damaged or leaking roof, call Firehouse today.
Don't get burned, get a firehouse roof.
Hello, I'm Dallas tax attorney Jamie Flores.
the managing partner at the law offices of Nick Namath, with another important tax fact. The amount the IRS claims you owe is often incorrect. They're notorious for charging for taxes, penalties, and interest that you don't really owe.
That's right, Jamie. Hi, I'm Dallas tax attorney Nick Namath. If you have unfiled returns, the IRS might be preparing them for you. These substitute returns are often full of errors, so if the IRS hands you a devastating tax bill, don't panic, and please don't try to respond on your own. For over 20 years, I've helped individuals and businesses successfully handle the IRS, and I'm ready to help you. Give me a call and we'll set up a free and confidential evaluation, and I'll explain all the options available.
If you've received a notice from the IRS, or if you're facing IRS wage levies, garnishments, or seizures, call Nick Namath, the DFW tax attorney, at 972-484-0829 or visit myirsteam.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies supplements, changing the world one life at a time.
I am 87 years old, and I am an RN. My PhD work is in anatomy and physiology. I watched your advertisement on TV, and I thought I'll try it for just a month to see if it makes any difference. I have stayed on it. Just think it is a marvelous product.
Make a splash into summer with Balance of Nature's supplements. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com and sign up as a new preferred customer to get 35% off your first order, plus a free fiber and spice supplement while supplies last, with free shipping and our money-back guarantee. That's 1-800-246-8751. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Go to balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get this limited time offer by using discount code Dallas.
At Seconds and Surplus North Richland Hills, you'll get more for your project dollar. More cabinets, flooring, baths, and doors, all at unbeatable prices. But that's not all. You'll find more countertops, sinks, and backsplashes still at unbeatable prices. Keep listening because there's even more, like exceptional service, free kitchen designs, installation, plus local and nationwide delivery. Get more at secondsandsurplus.com. Are you dreading the idea of dental implants? There's no need to worry. We have Dr. Steve Brown of the Dental Implant Place here in the Metroplex. Dr. Brown is a pioneer in the minimally invasive technique that gives you a beautiful smile, reduces healing time, is much less painful, and in most cases costs less than other dentists in our area. Dr. Brown has placed over 12,000 implants and has trained other dentists throughout the country in this revolutionary technique. Along with a compassionate, experienced staff, the whole team at the Dental Implant Place is ready and able to help you realize your dream smile.
I want to meet with you personally. Minimally invasive techniques, all-inclusive pricing, all in one place, and compassionate care. See the difference for yourself at thedentalimplantplace.com. That's thedentalimplantplace.com. Your new smile is here.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP AM, Fort Worth, Dallas. 93.3 WBAP FM, Haltom City, Dallas. And 99.5 KPLX FM HD2, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station.
Trending now.
Democrats slam a Wall Street Journal piece claiming the president is slipping. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
I-20 eastbound at Polk, the 3 left lanes are taken away. There's a 45-minute backup there to Cockrell Hill. Also, I-45 southbound between I-30 and Good Latimer, you've got road work up in that right lane. On the tollway southbound at Mockingbird, the right lane still blocked for a wreck. And Loop 12 southbound approaching Singleton, the left lane taken away for construction. That's heavy back to 114. With WBAP's first traffic on the ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love Classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox. Gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
I'm WFA meteorologist Kyle Roberts. We'll have a few dry days before rain chances return before the end of the weekend. Tonight, 70 for the low, some patchy fog possible to start the day tomorrow, but then it's up to 96 for your Thursday afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. Friday's a high of 94. Saturday we hit 95, a 20% coverage of showers and storms. Another 20% on Sunday with a high of 92.
89 degrees in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm. A report in the Wall Street Journal suggests President Joe Biden has been showing signs of slipping behind closed doors, adding he appears slower when holding discussions with lawmakers. Senator Chris Coons, a Delaware Democrat, refuted the article in an interview on Fox, adding it didn't include some important information.
They didn't use quotes from those of us who serve with President Biden, who know him, who have had the opportunity up close and in personal in meetings in the White House or in events publicly or privately, to give affirmation that he is sharp, he is engaged, and he is commanding.
The White House communications director calling the report an utter editorial fail. Finally, some decent news from embattled company Boeing. After months of delays and 2 scrub launches, Boeing's Starliner finally took flight today. Fox's Jonathan Siri reports from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
That launch was really as flawless as they come. United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket carried the Boeing Starliner spacecraft into space with astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams on board. If the week-long flight test is successful, NASA will be closer to having a second commercial option for shuttling its astronauts to and from the International Space Station. As reliable as SpaceX has been, NASA likes to have multiple options so that if there were a safety issue to temporarily ground one type of rocket or spacecraft, they would have another.
Starliner expected to dock at the International Space Station tomorrow. Your money news: as Americans head to the polls this November, many key issues will be top of mind, including the price of gas. According to UNT business expert Michael Savoy, there's a vast policy difference between President Biden and former President Trump.
The Biden administration is more government-focused, more regulatory. Their agencies have been very, very active in pursuing additional regulations on businesses and on individuals to a great extent.
Savoy says the Trump administration focused on reducing government regulations, allowing the oil industry to self-regulate, which resulted in gas prices in the $2 range as opposed to the current $3 range. The Dow closed up 96 points, NASDAQ up 331, the S&P 500 up by 63. Again, the low tonight 71, it is 89 in Dallas, 91 in Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Reliant Air Conditioning. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 4:30. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
This hour on WBAP is brought to you by the Wilhite Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Go to WilhiteWins.com.
That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey, welcome to the James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Let's go. Setting up our next story. We're going to be joined by Joe Cardinale, again, retired NYPD detective and currently, I think he's still running for office for the New York State Legislature. But the story that we're going to talk about comes out of Chicago. You probably didn't hear this because it didn't fit the narrative, but it's one of those, if the roles were reversed, it'd be the top story on the planet for now to kingdom come. There'd probably be riots and there'd be highways blocked and someone would have to throw a brick through the front window of a Champs and get some Air Force Ones. But since it's not, I have to be the one to tell you. This comes from Fox 32 in Chicago.
Please, we're just trying to go home to our kids. Leave us alone. Why are you doing this to us?
This is where Nina and her husband were walking back from date night Friday after 8:30 in Streeterville.
Everything happened from behind us. First, someone approached him and hit his head, punched him in the head. And he looked back and he looked at me and told me, run. So he wanted to protect me.
These are images of his injuries, bruising from head to toe. The attackers then unleashed their rage on Nina.
Another lady came to me and dragged me through my hair, with my hair on the ground. I start screaming. She start pepper spraying me right in the face, in the eyes. Another person starts stomping all over me, and my husband ran towards me to save me. He Over 10 people held him.
Nina's hair was pulled from her scalp. Nina captured this image of the hair in her hand. When police arrived at Grand and McClure, the crowd started running, many hopping this fence. 2 teens were arrested and charged, a 17-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. The teens aren't in police custody.
All right, and to cut it short, they're not in police custody because they're only going to be charged with a misdemeanor. And another big detail that wasn't given in the story till the very, very end, the woman was pregnant and lost her baby. Still, just a misdemeanor. No big deal. Joe Cardinale, this is a world that most of us don't have to live in. Most of us don't live in hyper-dense urban areas. How common is this?
It's very common, and in this day and age where the criminal justice system is geared for the criminals, as you and I have spoken about on many times, what did they expect? I mean, this is what happens when there are no consequences for the actions that these individuals take. Now, the fact that they're, their ages, that's one thing. But the fact that this woman lost her baby should figure into this big time. And I guess it didn't, because prosecutors looked the other way. Today, it's so crazy today, especially in New York, that unless it fits a certain narrative where somebody is, killed or seriously maimed or anything along those lines, they just push it out the door. So my question is, where are all these federal dollars going that are coming to these prosecutors to prosecute these very crimes? And they're just being spent elsewhere, as we know.
This seems like a minor detail, but it's one of the most concerning for me. This couple wasn't even robbed. They were just beaten for sport. Now that's, I don't want to say it excuses, but it is an explanation on why some people, get mugged. These people want money, but this is just evil.
It's evil, but when I was commanding officer of the Brooklyn South Gang Unit, it was something very similar to that. Actually, it goes all the way back to the Brooklyn Robbery Squad days when we had a young individual just like this, who went out and just went over and was robbing people on the train. And the woman gave her chain to this individual, and he sliced her anyways. And when we got him in there with his grandmother, she said, "You speak to these individuals, read him his rights, the whole 9 yards." And she says, "No, I want him to see. I want to know what's going on." And he said he was trying to become a member of a gang, and this is what he had to do. He had to draw blood on somebody to get his initiation started. So this is where we are back then, and it's magnified today by the fact that at least back then they were getting arrested. Today they're being smacked on the backside a little bit and sent on their merry way, saying, "Now don't do that again." This is exactly what's going on across this country in the major cities.
Right. And I think myself and a lot of other people are feeling what compounds this injustice is not only did this happen, but it's not getting the attention that, say, like another beating where someone randomly got jumped and they didn't get robbed. It was just out of pure hate. The Jussie Smollett hoax. Now, this is a story that actually happened. Jussie Smollett was fake, but the fake story got 1,000 times more coverage, especially in the national level, than this does. And a lot of people have a big problem with that, myself included.
Yeah, because let's be real here. Let's talk about the white elephant in the room. It's the race card. Everybody wants to deny it, but that's exactly what it is. How many times have you heard about a police shooting across the country, and the first thing that the people want to know across the wire, what's going on? What was who was the victim? Oh, a young male black. Who was the cop? Was the cop white or black? Oh, it's a black cop. Oh, we can't really get that much mileage out of this right now. That's exactly the sentiment that's out there, and that's why we're in the state of affairs that we're in right now. Instead of holding bad cops accountable and bad people accountable, they hold certain sects accountable.
It is really frustrating because all of this is for an effort to make people distrust each other. Because look, whenever they can get through this, if we ever had a media that actually had some sort of standards and integrity in reporting on interracial crime, they would figure out that we're on the same team. I am not your enemy.
Exactly. Cops do not go out there. They say, cops target individuals and individual groups and that there's systemic racism within the police departments. That's just not true. When we go out there and we have reports that are brought to us and we have a group of whatever it is, male Asians, all right, or male blacks or male whites, we don't go looking for a male black in a male white scenario or vice versa. We don't do that. We go where the crime takes us. But people want it to fit their narrative, as you stated. These media outlets, they want it to fit a certain narrative that sells for them, that sells crappy newspapers, that sells the issues that they want to put out there. And, you know, stations like yourself and Fox News, they're the only ones that are putting these issues out there. And people, as soon as they see it from the other side, they say it's fear-mongering. It's not fear-mongering. We're bringing the facts to the public. Let them make their own decisions with the right footage that's out there, and let them see for themselves what's really going on. Stop sugarcoating these things. The people have a right to know.
Joe Cardinale, how's your campaign going?
It's going fantastic. I love getting out there. I love speaking about the issues. You know, my whole platform right now is vote common sense, you know, on the issues that I've outlined on my websites. I just think it's common sense. And I go around, I ask people, what is it that you want to see change? And you'd be surprised about 75 to 85% are in sync on 3 of the major issues. And it's going to resonate this November.
So the assembly district that you're running for, is that a traditionally blue or red or purple area?
Traditionally blue, but there's been a couple of close races over the past 2 times. And I think this time, you know, we have to flip it, because Albany, just so you know, is they have the majority up there and everything. They have the mega, the super PAC up there with the Senate, with the governor, with the assembly. And right now, you have to beg to get issues done. And if you're lucky, if they throw you a crumb or two. You know, enough of this. I tell everybody it's time for us to sit at the table and get a piece of the pie that we deserve for everybody, not to sit there and get the crumbs from Kathy Hochul.
All right. Well, thanks again for taking the time. Get back to work and go win that seat, Joe.
I will. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right. Joe Cardinale, the retired NYPD detective, giving the law enforcement perspective on that horrible story out of Chicago. And you see this and you're like, well, why does the Jussie case get all this attention, but something like this doesn't? I think it was the bleach. It's not a political thing, or it's not a race thing. It's probably the bleach. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. This is The James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Brian Kilmeade from the Fox News Channel is coming to DFW for a special get-together at the Ranch Las Colinas at the corner of West 114 and North MacArthur. Limited admission. This coming Tuesday, June 11th, from 6 till 8 p.m. He'll talk about the issues facing our country and the upcoming election. For more, go now to KLIF.com or WBAP.com.
All right, homeowners, listen up. You don't want to leave the leaves in your gutter, because if you leave them there, the leaves are going to cause some problems. James Parker here for Leaf Home. Leaf Filter is the solution to the leaf problem, so you don't leave leaves in the gutter. If you leave leaves there, you could cause foundation issues. It could cause leakage. It could cause rotting in your soffit vents or rotting on the wall next to it. And look, the whole reason why the gutters are there is totally blown if they're full of leaves anyway. So if you want them to work properly, you put on this leaf filter. That way you don't leave leaves in the gutter anymore. The only thing that gets in is the water. So instead of leaving leaves in the gutter, why don't you call or go to leaffilter.com/WBAP. You'll get a nice little discount right off the top, and then you don't have to leave leaves in the gutter anymore. Leaffilter.com/WBAP. Leaffilter.com/WBAP.
Guys, did you know testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? If you're feeling lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Well, the answer is simple. Get your levels checked at Centergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss. Don't put it off. It's quick and easy, and you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Centergenics, you'll get customized care from medical providers who specialize in testosterone treatment. And you can also be evaluated for treatment for prescription weight loss medication. To book your appointment, go to FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? ROLAIDS.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
ROLAIDS.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still ROLAIDS.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Is your timeshare suffocating you? Are you feeling powerless because you were sold a bad investment that is nothing like you were promised? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you're ready to get rid of that timeshare, I'll send you our Timeshare Exit Information Kit free, exposing the timeshare industry scams with all your options for cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hanging out with my good friend Rob Vaughn from Reformation Roofing and Construction today. Rob, we spoke earlier about getting your shingles checked out after a hailstorm sooner rather than later, because if you don't, there's a chance that the insurance company won't approve a claim. Why is that?
Here's the thing. If you imagine a hailstone hitting that shingle, it's going to impact the shingle, it's going to bruise it, and those granules of that shingle will sit there in that bruise. What ends up happening over time, in the beginning, it's easy to see. Over time, it becomes harder to see. And so the insurance adjuster, if it's been a year, 2 years, whatever, they see that and the granules have all washed away, then there's nothing for them to cover.
Yeah, Rob, you've told me always to get that checked out on the shingles sooner rather than later. How do folks get a hold of you if they want to have you come look at the roof?
You can give us a call at 940-210-3009. That's 940-210-3009. You can text us there also, or go to roofingreformation.com.
Problem spot on I-20 eastbound at Polk. That one off to the right shoulder, but heavy there back to Duncanville, Maine. That's a 35-minute backup. I-45 southbound before Good Latimer. Construction still up in the right lane. Also on the tollway southbound at Mockingbird at the right lane block. That 30-minute delay back to Royal. And I-20 eastbound at Highway 287 in Arlington. That wreck keeping you heavy to Campus Drive. That's a 45-minute delay. For WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
This report is sponsored by Fuzzy's Taco Shop. For just $5 at Fuzzy's Taco Shop, you can get their new huge Cali-style steak taco, fully loaded with grilled steak and crispy fuzzy dusted fries, along with an equally large drink and a souvenir cup to wash it down. All for $5. Only for limited time.
Brought to you by the Good Feet Store.
Are your feet stopping you from being active and making it difficult to get healthier? Trade in your bad feet and start the new year with Good Feet and get healthy in 2024. Wouldn't it be nice to work, walk, and play pain-free again?
The dog days of summer are quickly approaching. We'll help you cool off by keeping connected on the go with our free app. News Talk 820, WBAP.
And now on FM at 93.3.
Hey there, welcome to the James Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. My next story is heartwarming. It comes from WFAA, and I saw the initial story when it happened back in April, and I think we even talked about it. And I remember hearing the crew on the morning show talking about it. There was, I believe it was in Blue Mound. It was announced, at the end of the school year, who's going to be valedictorian and salutatorian, who makes the top 10%, and who's going to get all the awards and stuff. And so it was announced that the valedictorian, hey, it's going to be this girl. And so you need to go ahead and start making your speech. You get to speak at the graduation ceremony. And about a week later, some other student said, excuse me, I just did the calculations and I have higher grades than her. Y'all need to fix this. And so the administration went back and they recalculated the grades. And they're like, I don't know what we did wrong, but someone must have made a mistake. This other student who made the complaint is right. And this girl that we said is the valedictorian isn't actually going to be the valedictorian anymore. So now she doesn't get to make the speech anymore. And she was ridiculed at school. It became a problem. So she just dropped out for the last month of school and graduated on her own. But the follow-up story is amazing because this is a heartwarming, good story that when people say, why is the news so negative? This is what you want to hear. This is the good stories that people pass up so often, but we have time on the James Show to sneak it in today. This comes from WFAA.
I first introduced you to Maya in April, after her dad, Jorge, emailed WFAA with a sad story. Shortly after she was announced as valedictorian, the district told Maya she actually was not. There was a miscalculation. She could no longer give her speech or receive the state college scholarship awarded to students first in their class. After our original story aired on Maya, she said many of her classmates taunted her. Embarrassed and isolated, she skipped graduation.
It's crazy how much, a story can impact people, but I'm so thankful it impacted the right people.
But one of our viewers was moved by Maya's story.
We had a very, very kind family come up and volunteer to pay for Maya's first year at school.
That generous donor asked me not to identify him. It's not about him, he said. Just the lessons Maya's learned.
Holy smokes. So some guy saw the report from WFAA and said, we'll cover that first year of college. Because being valedictorian, there's a lot of scholarships that go with that, and she lost that. She thought she was going to have her college paid for a while there. So it's not just like prestige that was taken away from her. This could have been the difference in her going to the college she prefers or going to the college she can afford. And so that's so amazing. The guy didn't even want to be known. He wanted to remain anonymous. He deserves praise. He deserves all the credit that goes with it, but he didn't do it for the credit. He didn't do it for the glory or so everyone thinks he's such a great guy or so he could be on the news and everyone could see his face and know what a great fella he is. Or maybe it'd be good for his business. Maybe he's like a lawyer or a doctor or a dentist or a roofer or something. And he was maybe going to use his generosity to drum up some business. No, he got nothing out of this. He did it just because he wanted to help someone. Like, it's not even the right thing to do. Not that it's the wrong thing to do, but he's a disinterested third party. He didn't have anything to do with the valedictorian calculations going wrong. He didn't have anything to do with any of it. Doesn't affect him, doesn't help him, doesn't hurt him. He's completely dissociated. He just wanted to go above and beyond. This isn't justice. This is beautiful because it's the rare case of actual altruism. You know the word altruism? I don't know. Garrett knows. I bet you Eric knows. But altruism, when you do something nice for nothing in return, for absolutely nothing in return, you don't get credit for it. No one knows. It's sort of the anonymous way. And for many people, their morality dictates that if you are going to be generous, it has to be altruistic. If you do it for some sort of glory for yourself, then it's not charity at all. Then you're exploiting charity for good public relations, for good PR. That's not what this guy did. That's amazing. Now, we don't have enough people who have the disposable wealth sitting around that we could just start handing out gifts and making sure all these kids get to go to whatever college they want to and not have to worry about money. But one guy could make sure one girl doesn't have that problem. And it really is unfortunate. And, we live in a human condition to where there's going to be people that make calculations for valedictorian, and sometimes people are going to get it wrong. Someone's going to make a mistake. Sometimes the mistake will be caught. Sometimes it won't be caught. I think the greater travesty, the greater injustice would be, though, that girl that actually had the higher grades, if that is the case, I'm just going by what's been reported. What if they never found the mistake? What if she had missed out on her opportunities because she actually deserved it? She actually got the grades that were supposed to come with the scholarship and change lives. So there was no real pretty way out of this. Once you made the wrong announcement, then someone was going to get screwed until this guy steps up. Now, nobody gets screwed. And I can't even thank him by name. And I like that even better. So round of applause for the anonymous donor who, for no glory of his own, is making sure a young lady, one of your neighbors, gets to go to college for at least 1 year without having to sweat the cost. That is a beautiful story. And then there's the reporter who did it, Sydney Persing. This is like the 8th time I've used one of her packages on the show. She's doing great work over there. We're going to have to meet her, have her on as a guest sometime. All right, coming up next, entertainment news with Dallas radio legend Pugs Moran next on The James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Ernie here for the folks at Statewide Remodeling. They're always wanting to help you make your home everything you want it to be. So let me tell you about triple sale days. Let's start with windows. Are they leaky or foggy? Or how about that old 1980s tub or shower you've been wanting to replace for years? If you have old inefficient windows on your home or want to update your bath and shower, step one, call 214-214-6000. Schedule a free estimate and receive a $50 Walmart gift card with the estimate. Step two, get 50% off the installation of the bath and shower or a house full of windows. And remember, Statewide is the exclusive Kohler Luckstone service provider. Plus, Statewide windows qualify for up to a $1,200 tax credit. Step three, you have no payments or interest until 2026. Amazing savings, plus Statewide offers a lifetime workmanship warranty on your bath and window project, giving you peace of mind. So call today, 214-214-6000. That's 214-214-6000 or online at statewideremodeling.com.
Hey, Mike Singletary. Do you know Baker Brothers is celebrating its 80th anniversary?
No, but I do now. Congrats, Jimmy.
Thanks. What were you doing back in 1945?
Hello, I wasn't born yet. I was still a glimmer in my dad's eye. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, in 1945 at Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric, we were fixing all kinds of things, like
plumbing, drains, and water heaters. Yeah.
Yeah! Wow, you're good, Mike Singletary.
That's what they say, Jimmy.
This is Jimmy Dell, president of Baker Brothers Plumbing, Air, and Electric. If you need your AC repaired or replaced, go to callbakernow.com and schedule now. We have over 18,000 five-star reviews and offer 100% satisfaction guarantee.
For great service, leave it to the pros at Baker Brothers. Call them today.
Thanks, Mike Singletary.
Baker Brothers.
Great service.
When life spells heartburn, how do you spell relief? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
What about when life spells fried chicken?
R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Fourth cup of coffee?
Still R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Extra cheesy pizza?
Rolaids always spells relief. Rolaids' powerful dual-active formula begins neutralizing acid on contact to fight your heartburn fast. So, when life spells heartburn, Rolaids spells relief. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Is your timeshare suffocating you? Are you feeling powerless because you were sold a bad investment that is nothing like you were promised? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. If you're ready to get rid of that timeshare, I'll send you our Timeshare Exit Information Kit free, exposing the timeshare industry scams with all your options for cancellation.
Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
Teeth are amazing. That's why at Affordable Dentures and Implants, we believe it's time the world sees your smile. With new financing options, you don't need to wait to get your smile back. Our 16 general dentistry practices in the Dallas-Fort Worth area are open to serve you. Schedule a new smile consultation. Call 1-800-DENTURE or visit AffordableDentures.com to find a location near you. That's 1-800-DENTURE or visit AffordableDentures.com. Affordable Dentures and Implants. Go ahead and smile.
Go ahead and smile.
Hi, Brad Barton for Red Mountain Weight Loss. I think summertime may be the best time to lose weight. You're not only looking and feeling better, you're a little cooler and your clothes fit looser too. You want to jumpstart your weight loss plan? Please visit one of the Red Mountain Weight Loss Centers in North Texas. They have their own semaglutide approved by the FDA for weight loss in a dissolvable tablet you take just once a day, and it's about half the price of Ozempic. It's called Revelex. But let's start today. Visit redmountainweightloss.com or just dial pound 250 and say Red Mountain Weight Loss. That's pound 250, keyword Red Mountain Weight Loss.
DFW's News, Talk, Traffic, and Weather Station. News Talk 820 WBAP. And now on FM at 93.3.
Streaming live on our free mobile app.
A Cumulus Media Station. Trending now.
A possible Texas stock exchange. I'm Eric Bushman from the Novak Motors News Desk.
ClassicChevrolet.com. WBAP's first traffic and weather.
On the ones.
I'm on I-20 eastbound at Polk Street off to the shoulder, but heavy to Duncanville, Maine. Also on the tollway southbound at Mockingbird, the right lane's blocked off. That's heavy to Royal Lane, 45-minute backup there. I-35 east southbound at Inwood, that one's in the two left lanes, and it's slowing you back to Mockingbird. And I-20 eastbound at Highway 287 in Arlington, that crash still stacking you up solid to Campus Drive and added 45 minutes. With WBAP's First Traffic on the Ones, I'm Monty Cook.
Why do so many Texans love classic Chevrolet and Grapevine? We're the #1 Chevy dealership in the world. New Silverados, more than anyone. Malibus, Blazers, Equinox, gotta visit ClassicChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevrolet registrations 2023.
The WBAP forecast, patchy fog tonight, otherwise mostly clear, a low 71 degrees. It is 91 right now in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news brought to you by the Fort Worth Gun Show this weekend at the Will Rogers Memorial Center. The Texas Association of Business says it supports the potential launch of the Texas Stock Exchange. The statement comes after the Wall Street Journal reported a group of individuals and investment firms are planning to launch the new stock exchange in light of continued corporate dissatisfaction with what they call regulatory burdens at the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. TAB President Glenn Hammer welcomes and encourages the launch of a Texas exchange. A temporary pier constructed by the U.S. Defense Department along the coast of Gaza is being repaired in order to resume the delivery of humanitarian aid to innocent Palestinian civilians. Deputy Press Secretary for the Pentagon, Sabrina Singh.
We're going to work to continue to get humanitarian aid into the Palestinian people who need it most, and that aid should flow hopefully almost immediately as soon as the pier is re-anchored into the beach of Gaza.
This coming as talks of a ceasefire deal are in the works after the Israeli Prime Minister recently proposed a three-phase deal to Hamas. Your money news, you're on Candid Camera at your local TJ Maxx store.
Stopping shoplifters, the idea. TJ Maxx shoppers may soon run into security workers wearing police-type body cameras at some stores. Business honchos say they believe people are less likely to steal if they're being videotaped. TJX operates almost 5,000 stores nationwide, Marshalls and HomeGoods among them. More than a third of retailers are researching body-worn cameras, trying to stop theft, totaling more than $112 billion in 2022 industry-wide. Kimberly James, WBAP News.
The Dow closing up 96 points, NASDAQ up 331, the S&P 500 up by 63. Again, the low tonight 71. It is 91 in both Dallas and Fort Worth. This news also brought to you by Novak Motors. I'm Eric Bushman. Your next news update is at 5 o'clock. Check back several times throughout your day and keep connected, DFW, to News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3.
CeeDee Lamb is holding out at the Dallas Cowboys mandatory minicamp this week up at the Star in Frisco. Just wondering here, is Ezekiel Elliott going to join him? After the 49ers give Christian McCaffrey an extension where he'll average $19 million a season. From our Mullen & Mullen Law Firm Sports Desk, I'm Steve Lamb. Lamb wants to get the kind of money Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, and others are making to catch the football. And he's going to get an extension sooner or later. Now, as far as Elliott, who signed a one-year deal with the Cowboys for $1.2 million, does he go to Jerry Jones and request a do-over on his deal? No. The 28-year-old should just be happy he's got a job. He got his big payday back in 2019 when he held out of training camp, went off to Mexico before getting a $90 million deal. It's the drama, or circus, whatever you want to call it, that is the Dallas Cowboys in the offseason during the season. Dallas Mavericks are just a little over 24 hours away from playing Game 1 of the NBA Finals up in Boston. Playing the Celtics Thursday and Sunday before the series shifts to Big D next Wednesday and Friday. If you're betting on who you think will win, bet on the Mavs. We're going to ride Luka Doncic to the NBA championship. That's my opinion, and that's your Wednesday afternoon sports update.
Brought to you by the law offices of Thomas J. Henry.
According to TxDOT, on average, one motorcyclist dies every day on Texas roads. If you or a loved one were injured in a motorcycle crash, call Thomas J. Henry. To learn more or start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
This report is sponsored by Macy's. Find the perfect Father's Day gift with Macy's Gift Finder. In just a couple clicks, you'll get personalized gift ideas for every dad at every budget. Visit Macy's.com/gift finder and give love today at Macy's.
Thank you for listening today to News Talk 820 WBAP and now WBAP FM at 93.3.
Hey, welcome to the James Show. This is News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Get ready for some saucy info from the world of entertainment. because it's time for entertainment news with the great Pugs Moran, Dallas radio legend Pugs Moran. Welcome back to the James Show, another edition of entertainment news. Hey, Pugs.
Happy to be here, James.
All right, let's.
Hey, wait, can I just make a mention of something? The sports report there. Ezekiel Elliott is only 28 years old. Did you think he was that young? I thought he was much older.
That's old for a running back. This is a running back who peaked, already had a decline season, and he's about to have an encore year, and he's not even 30.
Look, running backs are disposable in this day and age, but that is not old for a running back. Derrick Henry's 30. That is not old for a running back. He must have a lot of miles. Anyways, I'm sorry. I was just stunned by that. I thought Zeke was like 32, 33, 28. Oh, my God.
Well, we're about to find out how old he is in about 4 months.
Well, I think the Patriots found that out last year.
All right, tell me what might be either the greatest or worst reality show coming up. I can't decide which one it's going to be.
How do you feel about reality, James? Are you a fan of reality shows?
I'm a fan of reality shows for about an episode or two. I don't understand how reality shows can go for multiple seasons because, like, I get it. I saw what you guys do. So no, but they're not really aimed at me. You know, some reality shows are, but most of them are aimed at my wife or younger.
Yeah, I mean, there's two kinds. There's regular people and there's celebrity reality shows, and I tend to be drawn more to the celebrity reality show. If I wanted to know regular people, I wouldn't avoid my neighbors. So,
well, yeah, but look, that's a good point because I do like Hard Knocks, and that counts as a reality show. Yeah, so
They're celebrities. So, boy, oh boy, I don't watch reality shows as a general rule, but I gotta say, James, I think I'm gonna watch this one. Coming to TLC. Any interest in watching The Baldwins?
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's the good Baldwins. It ain't like some stray Stephen or some William. This is Alec, his hot, weird wife of indeterminate ethnicity, and his like 7 kids all under 10 years old while he's standing trial for manslaughter. Yeah, I'm going to watch that.
So we have, we just mentioned Ezekiel Elliott's in his encore sort of second career. Alec Baldwin already did this whole thing where he married Kim Basinger and they had kids and he was a family man, and now he's doing it. Now he's doing it again.
A lot of guys do it. What are you talking about? He's only on his second. There's some dudes his age that are on their third families. But yeah,
it's true. Well, look, from my point of view, I can't believe anybody would do this again.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, look, I'm fascinated by this. I think that this has a lot to do with a little bit of character rebranding, maybe a reclamation project. Because Alec Baldwin, who has always been well noted as someone who doesn't handle the intrusion of paparazzi well, to open himself up to this, he knows he's got to do something to kind of help his reputation. Everybody hates him. Everybody hates Alec Baldwin. And I want to be clear. I think he's tremendously funny. I think he's a very funny actor. I think he's very talented. He seems like a jerk.
Yeah, so I always like to differentiate. Everyone hates him. Do people that know him and work with him hate him? That's the real question. And I think that answer is yes.
I think so, yeah, because we haven't heard a whole lot of people rushing to his defense these past few years while he's been, under the microscope of this Rust debacle in Mexico.
Have you seen any of this show?
No, it hasn't aired yet. They just announced that they're doing it. They started filming it. The announcement comes as the Baldwins prepare for the trial in his involuntary manslaughter charge. Let's see here. It's set to begin shooting in July, and that's also when the manslaughter trial is going on. So I think, again, this is like a character reclamation thing. They're going to show him on trial, and then they're going to show him as, all these horrible things being said about him, and then they're going to show him as this lovable family man.
Well, I do want to see the other Baldwins because they add their own little spice. Billy Baldwin is his own thing. Stephen Baldwin is probably the nuttiest. And then there's like the older Baldwin. Was it like Daniel or whatever? He's like the bigger guy, right? And
Daniel. Yeah, there's William, there's William Baldwin, Billy Baldwin. There's Alec Baldwin, who's the biggest star of them. There's Stephen, who's the weird blonde one, and then there's Daniel. I think Daniel might be just younger than Alec, but Daniel's kind of a big roguey guy, not classically handsome like maybe some of the other Baldwins. He was on a show called Homicide: Life on the Streets or something, and he famously went nuts back in the late 90s and barricaded himself in a hotel room and had a famous standoff with police.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was Daniel. Daniel had some drug problems, and I think he may have even gone to jail. We don't hear much from Daniel anymore.
Well, Steven also has the interesting story arc of going from like being the skater guy, stoner with white guy dreadlocks, to now super Christian.
Yeah, yeah, and he's weaned his way in. I mean, I think from a star factor, I think we'd all have to agree that Alec is the biggest star, but the most well-connected, the most plugged in is probably Steven, because Steven is Justin Bieber's father-in-law. Think about that.
Oh, that's right. Justin Bieber married his daughter.
Yeah.
See, this is going to be this could be a fantastic show. All right, we're going to take a break here and come back with Pugs, continue entertainment news, because we also have an actor doing something heroic. That's coming up next on The James Show. News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Wednesday at 9, a recent news report says the NTTA is an overly harsh and dysfunctional empire. Are they really that bad? And what can we do to hold them accountable when they mess up on our accounts and come after us? And at 10, a mom gets a major backlash after she goes on social media to talk about why she never returns her shopping cart. Hey, it's Chris Crock. Talk with you 8 till midnight on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.
Fellas, do you take better care of your yard than your health? Well, as guys age, they may find their health lacking energy, motivation, and gaining weight, all symptoms of low T. At Centergenics Testosterone and Weight Loss, the healthcare experts specialize in personalized testosterone treatment, and they make it easy to get checked. You'll get all your results on your first visit, and you can also be evaluated for treatment for prescription weight loss medication. Do it now. Don't wait. To book your appointment, go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Can you spot the difference?
Don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
And then,
don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
I'm sure you could spot the difference, but it's not always that easy to spot the difference when choosing a roofing company. Firehouse has been serving DFW for over 26 years and is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. If you have a damaged or leaking roof, call Firehouse today.
Don't get burned, get a Firehouse Roof.
Attention hailstorm victims. Has your residential or commercial property been damaged by hail, such as roofing, siding, and window damage? Insurance is meant to help you when you need it the most. The adjuster, however, may argue the property suffered pre-existing hail damage, poor construction, or lack of maintenance that led to the damage, or insist the required repairs are only minor. You paid your premiums. Now you are faced with tactics to delay, deny, or underpay your claim when you are owed thousands more. Everybody deserves a fair insurance settlement. Let the lawyers at Fitz Law Firm help you with your denied hail damage claim. Insurance companies have experts working for them. You should too. Texas law requires payment for all hail damage and entitles you to all hail-related damage plus penalties and interest. Contact the insurance dispute lawyers today for a free consultation. You will not be charged any fees unless you win. Don't delay. Your time to make a claim could be limited. Call 817-500-9904. That's 817-500-9904. Or visit hailclaimcenter.com. Principal Office, Houston, Texas.
When you're hot or cold or the water doesn't flow, think Airco.
Airco Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing has been locally owned for nearly 35 years and has thousands of 5-star ratings. Fast, friendly service with no extra fees for nights or weekends. And right now, save big on a new air conditioning system with up to $5,400 in rebates and utility incentives. Call 877-ITS-AIRCO or schedule at airco.com.
Airco, we bring comfort home.
Mark Eisler, an actual cancer patient of Dr. Cavy's at Texas Radiotherapy in Fort Worth.
I referred myself to Dr. Cavey because I wanted the very best for me. And I researched it and I found out he's the one. His staff is professional. His staff is kind. They treat you like family.
I'm Dr. Cavey from Texas Radiotherapy. We specialize in advanced methods for prostate cancer care and treat you like family.
Visit TexasRadiotherapy.com today.
Problem spot on 635 southbound at westbound I-30. The ramp partially blocked off there at last check. Still a little bit slow on the approach, but it looks like they're getting that one off to the shoulder. I-20 eastbound at Polk. That one's off to the side, heavy to Cedar Ridge. Also on I-45 southbound between I-30 and Good Latimer, the right lane still blocked. That backup is back onto 75. I'd plan on an added 45 minutes there. Just cleared one out on the tollway southbound at Mockingbird, but heavy back to Forest Lane. I-35 east southbound at Inwood. The two left lanes are blocked. It's slowing you back to Harry Hines Raceway. And in Arlington, I-20 eastbound at 287. That one's got you heavy back to Campus Drive. That's an hour-long delay. With WBAP's First Traffic, I'm Monty Cook.
Brought to you by Retirement Planners of America.
Retired or retiring soon? Call Retirement Planners of America now for a free, no-obligation consultation. 469-331-2426. That's 469-331-2426. Call now, 469-331-2426.
From the Airco AC Heating and Plumbing Studio, this is News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Welcome back to the James Show. It's News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Continuing entertainment news with Pugs Moran. And for our next story, we actually have an actor doing something heroic. We love to bash on them and make fun of them when they do dumb things, but when they do good things, let's talk about that too.
Well, when it's an actor that I like. This is the story concerning the actor Jonathan Tucker. Do you know who Jonathan Tucker is?
Not without Googling it.
Yeah, I know. And that's unfortunately, the truth with this guy. He's a great actor. Google him, look at his face. You'll have seen him in a million things. He doesn't, he's probably not known for any one thing. Although I guess he was in a show called Kingdom, which was a really good MMA show. He was nominated. He's a ballet dancer. I mean, he's a very interesting guy and an incredibly Justified.
Westworld is where I've seen him. I haven't seen Justified, but I did see Westworld.
The last season of Justified, they brought him in to play the complete crazy serial killer, madman, bad guy. He's terrific. Jonathan Tucker lives in Hancock Park, which is a neighborhood in Los Angeles. It's a nice neighborhood. It's not Beverly Hills or it's not Malibu, but it's nice. Everything in this area. The dirt, James. The dirt costs $2 million. So it's a decent neighborhood. A lot of mid-level actors live there. Jonathan Tucker is seen on a Ring doorbell. This happened over the weekend. A man walked up to a house that was there was a mother and two little girls in the house waiting for dad to come home from work, that kind of situation. Late in the afternoon, this guy walks up to the door and walks right into the house. Now, they show this guy on Ring doorbell, so you see him. He walks into the house. The people start screaming. And Jonathan Tucker, the actor, who apparently lives next door, had been watching this guy. Apparently this guy looked like he didn't belong in the neighborhood and watched him, ran into the house, physically removes the man from the house. The man tried to grab one of the little girls and steal her and carry her out of the house.
Ew.
And the actor Jonathan Tucker, it's a viral video. You can see it. It's out there. Actor Jonathan Tucker playing the hero, running into the house. The man was big. I mean, he was a big guy, but Jonathan Tucker, he played an MMA champion, so maybe he knows a little something. But as you say, a good story about an actor. Typically, this is dark Hollywood, but Jonathan Tucker, look him up and become a fan of his because he seems like a good guy.
Well, we like to make fun of actors for being, sissy little theater kids who you just pretend like you know karate. But when I watch like the behind the scenes or the making of The Matrix, like Keanu Reeves had to take like 8 months of Taekwondo lessons in order to pull that part off. Part of me thinks like some of these guys might really sort of accidentally pick up martial arts training from being in action movies. And he's a guy who's been in some of those projects. Maybe he really does kind of know how to fight.
Good. They're all yoked. They're all physically in action stars we're talking about. So yeah, you combine the fact that their cardio is probably 100 times better than mine, and that they have picked up some things. Yeah, I wouldn't want to tangle with Keanu Reeves. I bet he could hurt me.
I bet you Keanu Reeves could do some sort of taekwondo or jujitsu takedown and rip my arm off if he really wanted to, but he'd be cool about it. He'd probably buy me some payway afterwards. Who knows?
Yeah, he's awesome.
All right. What else is in entertainment news?
We got the big story that's happening in Hollywood that's got everybody. This is a bit more serious, the business side of things. There's a major merger happening between Paramount Media. Actually, National Amusements is the parent company of Paramount Media, which is funny because Paramount we think of as one of the largest platforms, producers, CBS, MTV networks, all of that Paramount, and they're actually owned by a little company called American Amusements. That is, of course, the company founded by the Redstones. Sumner Redstone's father formed that. It was a drive-in theater chain. Now it's Paramount. So another rich kid, this is a guy by the name of David Ellison. He is the son of billionaire Larry Ellison, of course, the founder of Oracle. David Ellison wanted to be an actor. But it turned out that, even Daddy's money couldn't buy him fame. So after failing as an actor, David Ellison formed a company called Skydance. Have you seen Skydance, right?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what they do. What have they done that I would know?
Well, here's the interesting thing. David Ellison has a sister. I forgot what his sister's name is. But they're both the children of Larry Ellison, founder of Oracle. They've both created production companies, and they're both very big film producers. David Ellison has Skydance. He does Michael Bay popcorn-type movies. His sister owns the company Annapurna Films. I don't know if you've seen Annapurna Films, also very big. She wins Oscars. She does like fancy British period pieces.
Okay, so I'm looking at Skydance. They do things like World War Z, G.I. Joe Retaliation, Jack Reacher, the remake of Baywatch. So yes, things like Terminator, Dark Fate.
Popcorn movies, whatever. Whereas the sister does more high-end, critically acclaimed stuff. Anyway, I think it's interesting about David Ellison that, when your dad's the sixth richest man in the world and you fail as an actor, you can just become the boss and become a big producer. So Skydance is trying to merge with Paramount, which would make David Ellison, the failed actor, one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. And that deal is now off the table. This is the big breaking news as of today. The deal yesterday was thought to have going through. Sherry Redstone, the inheritor of the Redstone fortune, she was ready to make the deal with David Ellison of Skydance, but David Ellison and Skydance lawyers came with a new evaluation, which was handed in today, and now apparently the deal is off and there are other suitors. So the big Skydance Paramount merger seems to be on hold because of some last-minute changes.
Wait, so who is Skydance wanting to join Paramount, or is Paramount wanting to join Skydance?
This is why it's so screwy. Skydance is trying to outright buy National Amusements. National Amusements is the theater and drive-in chain formed by Sumner Redstone. Now, National Amusements happens to own controlling interest in the much larger company Paramount, which is weird, right? It's weird how business works in this way. But so David Ellison is trying to buy National Amusements from Sherry Redstone, which would make him the controlling voter for Paramount. And that deal is now not going to happen. As of yesterday, it was going to happen, and he was on his way to being the most powerful guy in the world. He's pulled some last-minute, a little shell game. He's turned in some new numbers today, and Sherry Redstone says the deal is off, and now there are other suitors. So the big Skydance Paramount merger that would reshape Hollywood for the future seems to be off.
All right, and that's going to do it for your entertainment news. You can find Pugs with the Radio Misfits, radiomisfits.com. Where else can they find you outside the James Show, Pugs?
Pugs Moran, Google search me, Twitter, Facebook, X, whatever.
Right, that's what I just tell people. Just Google me. I know I have a painfully generic name, James Parker, but if you type in like James Parker Radio or James Parker WBAP, it'll show up. You can find me if you want to. Thank you very much for hanging out on the James Show today. Stick around. Coming up next, Mark Levin. This has been James Parker on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3.
Are you struggling with bad feet? This is Brandy, and at the Good Feet store, we hear a lot about foot pain, but we also hear about back, knee, and hip pain. I'd like you to hear what Kelsey, a kinesiologist, has to say about the Good Feet arch support system.
As an exercise specialist, I've seen all kinds of things that people try to put in their shoes to get out of pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that they support all 4 arches in the foot.
So did you know you had 4 arches in each foot? Most shoes and inserts only support 1. Maybe that's the reason all the remedies you've tried in the past just didn't work.
When the foot's placed in the ideal position, everything else up the kinetic chain works better. You have better balance, more energy, you're gonna feel better. Being able to move freely and out of pain means everything to me, and good movement starts with the feet.
Find the closest store near you at goodfeet.com. Good Feet arch supports are HSA and FSA eligible. Book an appointment for your free fitting at goodfeet.com or just stop in. Walk-ins are welcome.
Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your card today to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate to Junk for Joy. Donate your card today to Junk for Joy.
Donate your card today at junkforjoy.org. You'll get a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
Donate your card today to Junk for Joy.
Donate today and your car will be picked up by tomorrow.
The fight for justice never ends. In Texas, there's only one name you need to know. Thomas J. Henry Law. We're one of the biggest personal injury firms in Texas with the money to fight for you. We invest in expert witnesses, investigators, and cutting-edge technology because the best evidence wins cases. And you only pay if we win. No upfront fees, no hidden costs. We give back to the communities we serve, from school supplies for tens of thousands of kids to food for families and pets. Thomas J. Henry. Visit us online at tjhlaw.com. San Antonio.
Hi, Brad Barton along with Chris Pollard of Clarity Windows. You never say that your windows are going to pay you back in 3 years, but what can you say what your windows will do in terms of financial performance and energy efficiency in the course of 3, 4, 5, 10 years?
I can say with confidence that if you replace all the windows and doors in your home with our product, it will cut your heating and cooling cost in half. Doing replacement windows and doors, we have a kind of an unfair advantage in the home improvement industry because it's the only improvement you can do to your home that's going to make the inside prettier, that curb appeal prettier, and then also add comfort and reduce your heating cooling costs. So, you can replace the kitchen, you can't see it from the outside. You can have your house painted, but it doesn't do any good on the inside. You know what I mean? If you're at work, the windows are helping. If you're asleep, the windows are helping. If you're on vacation, if you're at home, it doesn't matter. They're always working for you to keep your house secure and comfortable and maximized as far as energy efficiency. So
for state-of-the-art windows and outstanding entry doors, call 1-888-458-3630. ClarityWindows.com.
I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Did you know that some companies' service techs have to hit a weekly sales quota or they're fired? What if you're the lucky homeowner who gets a guy that's $800 short of his quota on a Friday afternoon? What do you want to bet you'll have about $800 worth of stuff wrong with your system? At Reliant Air Conditioning, we provide comfort to homeowners who don't want to be taken advantage of. We don't have sales quotas, and our techs don't work on commission. If you need a new system, right now you can combine factory and utility rebates to save over $5,000 on a brand new system that can cut your electric bill in half for as little as $98 a month. So call 2 other companies first, get their price, and then call Reliant Air Conditioning, and you'll see how we've been gimmick-free since '83.